If I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna talk the law. Let's talk about it. But before I begin, for those who may not know me, I'm a Texas trial attorney. Y'all see the law license on the wall, signed by the 9 justices of the Supreme Court. I was minding my business and I was drinking my water. And somebody said, we back in court today. So let's jump in. I know they started a little bit early today. I believe they're going to read the jury instructions. So let's just go back and watch a little bit of it. And then we'll just come back and talk while they take a break from the jury instructions. And then we can go from there. But this is crazy. I think we're coming to the end of this trial. Final closing arguments will be on Thursday. So I believe court may be canceled for tomorrow. So we'll jump into it and see what's really going on. Thank y'all for hitting the like button as y'all come in. Definitely appreciate you. And shout out to my members and new subscribers. Let's go. Let me get over here and click this button. And let's see what they say. Come on, Judge. Where you at?
You have no additional witnesses?
Correct. One over, Your Honor. Paul has a good suggestion. Maybe this will work. We are happy to add, if you like, in a sense, People's 32 did not come from a product. That's the case. Exactly what
Wait a second. Okay, we're just going to make, Judge, we call our expert real quick. We're trying to save time if possible.
Let's,
No, hold on.
Take it away.
let's do it after the jury has left.
Okay. Because we're not coming back to one. Can't be the one.
But wait, if we agree on the stipulation,
Then we would read it and then.
we agree to it, and you do the charge, and then they could leave good,
Oh, that's
right? Or we're gonna make them leave.
Well, we're gonna have to go through instructions because we haven't done that. You can't just read the jury, we haven't done it.
Right.
You gotta leave either way.
They gotta leave for the day.
No,
How long will you anticipate it will take us to? Thank you.
I have a pretty good grasp on the instructions. I'll listen to what you both have to say. It shouldn't take more than a minute to go through the jury instructions and reading into the jury. So discussed his right not to testify.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Mayor, do you hear what Mr. Tacopina just said?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you agree with what he has said? Just said?
Absolutely.
You understand that you have a right to get on the stand and give your side of the case. You understand and accept that.
I do understand and I understand.
Also, you have a right under the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution not to testify. You cannot be compelled to testify. It's totally your decision to either get on the stand or waive your right to testify and not testify. You understand that?
I understand.
Okay, which right do you wish to take advantage of? The one to testify or the one to not testify?
I'm on my right to not testify.
Right. All right, so do you in fact waive your right to testify in this case?
I do in fact, Your Honor.
Counsel George.
Yes.
I believe that Mr. Mayor's waiver is knowingly free and voluntary. I accept it. All right, let's have the jury come in. They'll be told there may be a witness at 1:30. In the interim, the defense, you can ask for your exhibits to be admitted. I understand there's going to be no objection. The people have one additional exhibit. That would be moved in. Then I want to give the jury a 45-minute break. In that period of time, we will discuss the jury instructions informally. After which, we will come out and formalize them on the record. After that, I will read the jury instructions to the jury. At some point, if the jury instructions go beyond 1:30, I'll stop reading the jury instructions so the remaining witness, if he testifies, we can take him out of order, and then I will resume the jury instructions. And that will be all for the day. Summations will be on Thursday. Is that the understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry, you mentioned another exhibit from the people going there.
Yeah, they marked a DVD. It's the DVD from Complex.
Oh. So it was something new. That's it.
All right, let's have the jury.
Yeah, thank y'all for hitting the like button as y'all come in. Thank you, Taylor, for reminding all of us to hit that button. Y'all heard it. Rocky said he will not be testifying. Judge asked him twice, 2 different ways. And he said he's waiving his right to testify. And I think that's a good decision. There's no reason for him to get on the stand and testify at this point. Yeah, I don't believe that the state met their very high burden to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. So getting him on the stand and letting the prosecutor, what's his name, Lewin, keep him on the stand for days. Somebody said that he kept the Robert Durst. He kept him on the stand. He's an older man. He kept him on the stand for, I think they said 8, 9, 10 days. So imagine if he would have got Rocky on the stand. He seemed like to me, this is my personal
Jurors have returned, all parties and counsel are present.
The prosecutor, he seemed like a fan. So he'd keep Rocky on the stand just because. Let's see what the judge say.
I understand that Mr. Tacopina, that there are no additional witnesses to be called by the defense.
Yes, Your Honor, the defense rests in this case and remove our exhibits into evidence.
All right, that would be A through EE. Any objection to A through EE? No, Your Honor. A through EE are admitted for the jury's consideration. There was one remaining exhibit that the people marked, which was number 44.
The people moved, people's 44 into evidence as well, Your Honor.
No objections? All right, all of the exhibits are admitted for the jury's consideration. What's going to happen now is, I wasn't sure if we were going to have more witnesses or not. There may be one at 1:30, I don't know. But, so we don't waste a lot of time. We are going to talk about the jury instructions informally in the office. That'll take about half hour, thereabouts. Once we're finished, then we're going to have you come back into the courtroom, and I'm going to read the jury instructions. If there is a witness at 1:30, if I am still reading the jury instructions, I'll stop the jury instructions. The witness will testify. Once the witness is finished, then I'll resume the jury instructions. The jury instructions are going to take me about 35, 40 minutes to read. For those of you note takers, there's no reason to take notes because each one of you is going to get a package of jury instructions in the jury deliberation room. And as long as I'm talking about jury deliberations, you will not be deliberating in the jury deliberation room on this floor. You will be deliberating in the jury deliberation room in Department 115, which is on the 11th floor. So when you finally begin deliberations, you'll be escorted to the 11th floor into the jury deliberation room. Department 115 is my normal courtroom. So that's where you'll be deliberating. Once you arrive at a verdict, the verdict will be read in here at 102. Okay? All right, so it's 10:30, actually 10:24. I'd like you all to come back at 11. Be outside the courtroom doors at 11, as close to that time as possible. I'll begin reading the jury instructions. So there's no reason I won't be able to finish before 12. So leave all your materials on your desk. Remember, do not talk about the case. The case is not over. You've not been released to deliberate yet. So keep everything to yourself. All right, we'll see you at about 11. Let's go back. What?
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
no disrespect intended. Could you, I don't know, that's why I'm asking this question. What happens with the alternates?
Oh, no, that's a very good question. Once the jury begins to deliberate, you and the other 3 alternates, you will not be in the jury deliberation.
Right, I understand.
You will have to be close by, because if we need to summon you, you need to be here in short order. You will only go into the jury deliberation room if one of the jurors has to leave the case. But you will be in the jury box during jury instructions and during summations.
And can I just get a clarification for what you mean by close by? Are we allowed to go home?
No. You can be, I would want you to be able to be here in 5 minutes. You can be in the hallway, you can be in the jury assembly room, you can be in the cafeteria. But if we need you, we need you quickly.
Okay.
All right, we'll see everybody at 11. Come on back. Let's go back. Front row.
That alternate juror, she already got her purse on her shoulder. She ready to go and walk out the door, and the judge talking about. He said, "Ma'am, stay at the courthouse." Now, Judge, if you need her within 5 minutes, we have a bigger issue. This woman ready to go. She's sick of playing with y'all, the prosecutor, and she's so tired of playing with Riley. She's done. Y'all saw how quiet she got when the judge said you got to stay here? She didn't say nothing. Judge, why are you making that woman stay? This case is over. So apparently somebody jumped in the chat. I believe it was it Monica B? Shout out to where did she go? Monica. She gave us some hot tea. So apparently the prosecutor in this case, the man that he kept on the stand for 8-9 days, the senior man, apparently he was sent to prison after he was prosecuted, and I think he ended up passing away in prison. But the prosecutor apparently flew across the country to New York to be with the man who he prosecuted's wife. Now what? Now I knew someone right about him, but goodness, flying all the way from Los Angeles, California to New York to go sit in somebody's house who you prosecuted and he passed away. They say, how low can you go? And this is all allegedly. Matter of fact, let's just see what she sent me. Maybe we can just play that tape. Play that tape. Play that video. I hope it ain't no tape. Lord have mercy if it is. Oh, let's see what we can. Let's see.
Has learned of yet another sensational twist in the ongoing saga involving the late serial killer Robert Durst. The Turn to Terror team uncovering evidence that the star prosecutor who convicted the New York real estate heir took a free vacation at a Long Island mansion owned by Durst's wife just months after the trial, a trip that is now coming under the microscope. Our senior reporter Tara Rosenblum has the exclusive details.
Back in 2021, Los Angeles Deputy District Attorney John Lewin did what no other prosecutor in New York or Texas could.
Guilty of a crime.
Convince a jury to unanimously find the scandalized New York real estate scion Robert Durst guilty of murder. The high-profile conviction instantly turned Lewin into a household name.
I was the lead prosecutor on the case.
There were TV show cameos, podcasts, and even luxury stays in the Hamptons. The Turn to Terror team has learned that just a few months after Durst was found guilty and subsequently died in prison, Lewin had a sleepover at this beachfront mansion estimated at $17 million, owned by none other than Robert Durst's widow, Deborah Sheridan.
Has John Lewin ever been to your house in Bridgehampton?
Yes.
In this videotaped deposition obtained exclusively by News 12, Sheridan was questioned last fall about the nature of Lewin's stay at her pricey Long Island estate.
Did he sleep over?
He did.
Was anyone else there?
No.
Were you there?
Yes.
A few months later, under oath for a wrongful death suit brought by Durst's first wife, Lewin is also asked to explain the overnight encounter.
Did I spend the night so my daughter and I, on a vacation to New York City, made arrangements. Bob Durst was long dead.
Only Durst wasn't long dead. He died in January 2022, just a few months before Lewin vacationed at his widow's mansion.
My daughter and I had a lovely, I think we spent not one night, if I recall, I think it was two nights there. I can't remember for sure. It's nothing that is in any way unethical.
But not everyone agrees.
In my mind, this does not pass the smell test. It just strikes me as so foolish.
Peace law professor and former Manhattan prosecutor Bennett Gershman said Lewin's Hamptons excursion has the potential to not only complicate the legal battle over Durst's estate, but also Lewin's own standing at the DA's office.
You know, prosecutors shouldn't be in a situation where their judgment, their conduct may be called into question. He made a terrible mistake in terms of judgment, and are there going to be any consequences?
We reached out to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office to find out, and all they would tell us was they were aware of the allegation, but couldn't comment further on personnel matters or pending investigations. Tara Rosenblum, News 12.
Now listen. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Did he try to use his daughter as an excuse? The woman said his daughter was not there. She said it was just me and him. That's almost like an excuse when two people have kids, they're not together anymore. And then they go over and visit the mother or the father, talking about they taking the child to go see the other parent in the middle of the night. No. Y'all could have did that in the daylight hours at the park. You all at that woman's house. And you using your daughter as an excuse. Shame on you, John Lewin. And then you lied under oath and said your daughter was there when this woman just said it was just you and her. Wow. They said it don't pass the smell test. Y'all saw how the woman shook her head? We could go back. When they asked her, I don't know if she was ashamed or what. Somebody said, Chelsea said she was smirking. I think she held her head in shame, like she had to admit that under oath. That her husband, the grass didn't even grow over his grave yet. And you sleeping around with a married man from California. They say he may can't hear good, but he sure can see. Hold on, let's play that part again. This is too much. This is too much. And then gonna have the mask on. No, we see through this. See, look, we see through this mask. We see you, John Lewin. Let's listen to his wife. See his wife. Not his wife, but the wife of Robert.
Deputy District Attorney John Lewin did what no other prosecutor in New York or Texas could.
Guilty of a crime.
Convince a jury to unanimously find the scandalized New York real estate scion Robert Durst guilty of murder. The high-profile conviction instantly turned Lewin into a household name.
I was the lead prosecutor on the case.
There were TV show cameos, podcasts, and even luxury stays in the Hamptons. The Turn to Tara team has learned that just a few months after Durst was found guilty and subsequently died in prison, Lewin had a sleepover at this beachfront mansion estimated.
Not a sleepover. That's what we calling it now. A sleepover. Y'all, we waiting for court to begin. The court is not back yet. I'm watching it on a separate feed. They're not back. And once they come back, I'll switch back over. But this is some crazy work. Some people will say some nasty work. Let's keep going.
Rated at $17 million, owned by none other than Robert Durst's widow, Deborah Sheridan.
Has John Lewin ever been to your house in Bridgehampton?
Yes.
In this videotaped deposition obtained exclusively by News 12, Sheridan.
Now, see how she held it? I don't know if that was a smirk. She kind of like did her head like she shamed. You see how she kind of look at her face?
Yes.
In this videotaped deposition obtained exclusively by News 12, Sheridan.
Now, I think she was embarrassed to admit it. That's the look I'm getting. I'm not really getting a flashback. Oh yes, I remember it was good. Oh, okay. Oh, it's not yet. Okay, she said no, it's coming. Wait. Okay.
Was questioned last fall about the nature of Lewin's stay at her pricey Long Island estate.
Did he sleep over?
He did.
Was anyone else there?
No.
Were you there?
Yes.
A few months.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good. That was almost like a nervous, like somebody that's nervous, like damn, y'all caught me. y'all got me. Yeah, he was there. How y'all find out? Did y'all use GPS coordinates like they did Fonnie Willis and Nathan Wade in Georgia? How did y'all know we was there together at the same time? Oh, this is what y'all doing on the East End, apparently the West Coast. Bruce said they had a Netflix and chill. 7th Stream said exactly that was a caught head roll. Yeah. Sometimes you can't do nothing but laugh. I mean, I guess it's more so this man prosecuted her husband, and I'm not sure of the charges or what happened. I'm not familiar with the case. But golly. And I mean, I guess she technically wasn't married anymore if he was passed away. They do say to what they say, to death do us part. She like, no, this is it. I'm done. But apparently he was still married or still married. No, they're not back yet. No, they're not. Let's go back to that screen. I don't know what they're doing. The judge said 11. Oh, hold on. Let me switch back. Let me see. Did it work? Okay, there you go. Yeah, the judge said 11. California time. Now it's, 11:19. So this is crazy stuff. All right, let me see. Oh, they say he was a sick man. See, I don't know. What is he accused of? Who said you silly? He off the chain bad. Some people say he down bad. Messing with a dead man wife. Messing with a widow. And he didn't lose no sleep. Now he back in California messing with Rocky. And then the news people, they're talking about he did what nobody else could do. The man was halfway. It's not it's a serious matter. He was held accountable for whatever they say he did. But he was halfway kind of gone sitting at the defense table. He and the man in the wheelchair, he was already halfway checked out. So what did he really do? Oh my God. What did he do? Where have you been all day? What you mean? The day just started. What you talking about? Lady VJ, the day just started. When you get a chance, go look him up. Okay. Teo, you know what? Teo. Oh, you think that's what he's trying to do? Is this in his playbook? Man, that's his game plan. If he wants your woman, he got to lock you up first. Rihanna probably like, man, you could be the last man in the world. I don't care who you lock up. It ain't happening. Oh my God. This is some craziness, y'all. We're waiting for the court to come back. I believe they are going to read the jury instructions. And then once the jury instructions are read, every juror will have a copy of the jury instructions. And and after that, on Thursday, the closing arguments. And I kind of like it this way. I know some states do it the other way around, closing arguments and then jury instructions. But as a practicing attorney, I like to walk through the jury instructions while I'm doing my closing arguments. So I can tell the jury, hey, turn to page 2. Page 2, and then, go to paragraph 2, line 3. And they all turn their pages and they'll read with you. In order for Rocky to be prosecuted for this crime, the elements are it must be a real gun. That being a jury, if it's not a real gun, not guilty. So I think it really gives the jury a roadmap of what they're looking for, because we know the common sense part. I know a lot of lawyers do this. They do the common sense part. I mean, it makes sense, right? So their argument is mainly on what makes sense, but then they forget to factor in the law. You still got to tie it into the law to give the jury something to hang their hat on of why they voted the way they voted. So I always think that you could talk about the really playing evidence and really lying and the injury on his hand is not a bump or burn mark, but then you got to talk about the law itself. And I think that where a lot of lawyers sometimes, cut down on talking about the law and what's required from each element. Let me see. As a juror, that would be very helpful. Yeah, helpful to me. Yeah, I agree. And I actually point out the fact the prosecutor said himself that if the gun is not real, if we can't prove the gun is real, then Rocky cannot be convicted. And this is what the prosecutor just said on yesterday. Yo, why y'all didn't tell me? Because I didn't get a chance to watch the first half of 12B, ASAP 12B's testimony. I didn't get a chance to watch it. And apparently, I seen on social media, the prosecutor had asked ASAP 12B, what does an acronym mean? I don't know, something that started with an A. And then Rocky yelled out from his seat, like, don't tell him or don't say it. That was crazy to me. Like, why would it must be a big secret. Yeah, it must be a big secret, whatever that means. Because for Rocky to yell from his seat, I don't think I ever witnessed nothing like that before, where a defendant yelled from their seat in the middle of trial. Now, maybe after the verdict, after they found guilty or after they sentenced to prison, they may lash out, or they may lash out at the family if the family's saying something bad about them when it's time for, the family to speak impact statements, things like that. They may lash out, but to just yell at a witness while he's testifying, don't answer the question. I found that to be a little strange, to say the least. where he had to break decorum. He had to break procedure. That's a rule they have. So my question is, if the prosecutor really wanted to know, I mean, who would have been the best person to ask? It wouldn't have been 12. Who y'all think he should have asked? Who his favorite person? Who his favorite person he could ask? He could have asked Relly. Because obviously Relly, he done with him. He fell off. He ain't with ASAP no more. So if he wanted to, he could tell the secrets. I don't want to know that bad. I don't want to know that bad. If y'all don't want us to know, hey, we don't need to. But I just found that kind of strange because it could kind of make 12's testimony appear to be under the direction of Rocky. So if Rocky telling you, hey, what to say and what not to say, then everything you said on the stand could be called into question. So that's why, it was kind of like, why you yell out? Seven Stream say, I want to know what it means. He said, go to their webpage and you'll find out. Yeah, but if he knew, if he's part of it and he's not allowed to say it, then he would have already knew not to say it. I mean, it shouldn't take Rocky yelling it out. If that's y'all number one rule according to y'all website, that's y'all number one rule. But yeah, he says on their webpage, and I've seen other people post it on social media, but I think it's music and stuff on their website, so that's why I didn't pull it up. I didn't see it. Yes, it's a code to not. It's a code to not to snitch, huh? Any really signs on social media? Not going till I want to see more of his shenanigans. He didn't know Rocky was gonna yell it out. Right, but I'm saying as Rocky should know that his people know not to say anything. So Rocky should have known not to yell it out because his people would have already knew not to say nothing. So that was my whole thing. If 12 know not to say nothing, Rocky know that he's giving marching orders for them not to say nothing, then he should have known that 12 wouldn't answer it. Really trying to find that beach. Sorry, the response was for. Oh, okay, it wasn't for me. Oh, got you. Yeah. Y'all, let me jump on social media right quick and see what they got going on. Is there what's the confusion in the courtroom? Yeah, that'll be interesting if they did. Maybe they'll come over here and bake with us and, and cook with us. All right, y'all, let me see if I can. So apparently there may be one more prosecution witness. And I'm trying to figure out who would that prosecution witness be? Because apparently the defense said they are the witnesses no more. But who would be the last prosecution witness? And that's what I want to see. I mean, I don't know if it'll be anybody of any consequence, because if it's not ASAP Ills, the other person that was there, the fourth person that was there, then what are we talking about? That's a good point, Teo. Relly's girlfriend, but if she was there, where was she at on video? Why don't we see her on video when Relly allegedly found the shell casings? The skateboarder. It could be the skateboarder. I think they said that they didn't get any information from him to identify who he was. I don't think they're gonna have another witness. I think it's just something to throw off the defense. To throw them off. I don't think they have anybody. Prosecution was blindsided by the prop gun defense. Well, the thing is, I don't necessarily think that they needed the defense itself, but apparently any statements that you take from witnesses are required to be turned over. And what Rocky's lawyer said was they had statements from 12E, they had statements from ASAP Blue, and they had statements from ASAP. I mean, not ASAP. What's the other guy name? The first one that testified. They had statements, and they were supposed to turn those statements over. They never did, and that's why the prosecution said, you know, they're supposed to get those statements. But as far as the defense, I mean, you find out the defense when the defense is presented. No, I believe that it's the prosecution's witness. The judge had asked Rocky's lawyer, do they have any more? And he said no. And I think the prosecution may have a rebuttal witness. Yo, what was the first person name that testified for Rocky? He had came from Paris. I don't know why his name keep escaping me. What is that man's name? Wally. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Wally. Mr. Jones say Wale. He say Wale. Come on. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. So let me see. Law Malcolm say Woody. Now that'll be at this point. Bring Woody. Somebody fly Woody in from Georgia. Come on here, Woody. That's what it really called him. Yeah. All right, yeah, we're waiting for court to resume. Perhaps we're going to hear jury instructions. But it seems as if California go to lunch at what, 12? And right now it's 11:36. Teo said, how do you rate both sides, lawyers and judge, out of 10? DA side, 3 out of 10, defense, 5 out of 10, judge, 7 out of 10. I like the judge. he did a lot of yelling, you know. What's his favorite word? Y'all, what's the judge's favorite word? Come on. What's his favorite word, y'all? He yell it out at least 10 times a day. Oh, y'all ain't saying nothing in the chat. Y'all ain't saying the judge's favorite word. Somebody need to put a yeah, he over this case. Somebody need to put a compilation together of all the times the judge said, stop. Yeah, there you go, yo, Banks, there you go. Stop. He said stop so many times. There you go. Stop. His favorite word of all time is stop. Oh. Really just wanted his money back, and Rocky took matters in his own hands. Law Malcolm, what you talking about? What are you talking about? What money did he want? Did really want back? Are you saying really gave money, loan money to Rocky? Nah. Yeah, no squab. This is a no squabble zone, is what the judge said. What had happened was apparently Relly didn't mind his business. Relly was getting mad at Rocky because Rocky didn't pay for a funeral, and come to find out the whole time Rocky had actually paid for that funeral and really didn't know about it and really got into something that didn't involve him. So he was loud and wrong. And instead of manning up and apologizing, like Glenville in Georgia, they just kept their foot on the gas and kept going down the wrong road. Glenville could have told Steele, you know what, you right. I should have told y'all about the secret ex parte meeting in the back room with the lights off, but I didn't. You right, Steele, my bad. What do you do? Steele, I'm gonna hold you in contempt. You're going to jail. So it's hard for some people to turn around from their mistakes. They just keep going down the wrong road instead of stopping it before it gets too far. Secret meetings. Secret. And then gonna have the gall to then try to hold Kayla in contempt, and come to find out she wasn't even the one who told about the secret meeting. He was one of your own people, one of your own deputies. Trying to see. They say God don't like ugly, huh? And he ain't too fond of cute. When is closing argument? Closing argument is Thursday. Arguments from both sides. Thursday. Today we get jury instructions. I guess in Wednesday, I guess we get the day off. But yeah, once the jury instructions go out, the jury cannot start deliberating before closing argument. So I guess they would go home for today, and then we'll come back Thursday, closing arguments, both sides. I believe most states, the prosecutor go first, and then the defense attorney goes, and then the prosecutor gets to go again because they have the burden of proof. They get the last word. and then the jury gets the case. It's Dane Yak still in jail, even though he beat all charges. Yeah, he's still in jail, even though he beat all charges. He beat them all. The only YSL defendant to beat all charges through a jury. And yet he the only one from the first group, the first batch, that's still in Fulton County. I believe everybody else gone from either Fulton County. Some of them are doing minimal time at the state level. And I believe you have a group that's still in Fulton County from the second batch of the YSL trial. I tell you, DA 0.5 out of 10. Defense 8 out of 10. Judge 9 out of 10. Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking on social media. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and I'm not seeing any updates as to why we are still waiting, unless they're going to have a late lunch. Oh, matter of fact, the judge could read the jury instructions, but we may have a witness at 1:30. Because once the jury instructions are read, everybody go home. Come back on Thursday. And there will be no need to take a lunch. S. Bellucci, the Shell K all home, yeah. Yeah, this is a pretty good rating. I don't like the prosecutor. Not because he's a prosecutor, but because of his antics, his style. And for prosecuting that man when you know you was trying to mess with his wife. 0.5. Oh man. Prosecuting that man like that. That man could barely sit up at that table. And the whole time you wondering why you down there in the mansion. Tiptoeing around. Talking about your daughter was there vacation. Y'all couldn't vacation nowhere else in the United States. I mean, you flew across the entire country. Y'all had to go to that particular house. Oh Lord, what's that movie? A Low Down Dirty Shame. My God. Oh man. And apparently he still worked at the LA County District Attorney's office. I wonder how they feel about this case. Because you know the District Attorney's office is a big building. I'm sure other attorneys been watching this trial on TV, maybe even the head district attorney, the elected district attorney, I'm sure he's been watching. And they may think this is a weak case. Two mad attorneys. Those men have issues controlling their tempers. I wouldn't want to be their partners. I will say they definitely wear their emotions on their sleeve. You can see, I mean, because Joe Tacopina, he gets upset. I mean, he visibly shows it. He, slamming papers down, breathing hard. He what did he do? He leaned his head all the way back in the chair when the other side's talking, looking up in the air at the ceiling. All of that is a bit much. That's a bit much. They say it was a deputy that actually told. They say his roids were kicking in. His suit was a little tight on that first day, so that's probably why she gave him an 8. That's why she gave him an 8 out of 10. And the judge, he fined them $1,500, left and right. I mean, is he gonna really enforce it? I doubt it. It's just a way to get them to semi-behave right now, but he had to yell, "Stop! Stop! Just stop!" too many times, so that's why he get the 9 out of 10. But is he calling it fair for both sides? It does appear to be that way. It seems to me that he's trying to call it down the middle. I don't think the judge really trying to sway it one way or the other. Even though in the back of his mind, he may be like, why y'all wasting my time with this case? Because the judge said, the prosecutor complained. He said, I want more time to cross-examine 12. And the judge said, you ask him every question you could possibly ask him. And the prosecutor was like, well, they got a lot of time with Relly. And the judge was like, yeah, because Relly wasn't answering any questions. 12 is answering questions. So the judge is not, he's not fooled as to what's going on. Okay, let's see. I think we got some movement. Let's see. Is it delayed here? Y'all, if they come on and say we're going to lunch, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, I'm sure the elected DA was the one giving him the direction whether to move forward or not. Okay, let's see what the judge got to say now. He's going to say something. Let's see what he's saying.
Is the witness that was going to be coming in this afternoon is not going to be coming in because both sides have come to an agreement on what the witness would say. It's another stipulation. So who's going to? I'll read it here. All right. So listen to what he's going to say. This has been agreed to, stipulated. Go ahead.
The people in the defense stipulate that the prop gun testified about in this case would have ejected 2 fired cartridge cases as it was fired. The fired cartridge cases previously marked as People's Exhibit 32 were not fired from the prop gun. So stipulated this.
All right, the court accepts your stipulation.
Wait,
All
what?
right, I'm going to read the jury instructions to you now. And if I just read them, I think it's not going to make sense because you're going to get self-defense instructions. And you might think, well, why are we getting self-defense instructions? Here's why. So, and that will, I think, make it a little easier for you to grasp.
Wait a minute, y'all. We got to go back and listen to that so we can get some understanding. We got to get some understanding to see. Yeah, I don't know why they're not streaming. We got to go back, but I don't want to go back right now. because I don't want to miss if they come back on. But it appears that, let me go back. Hold on. I'm going to watch it from this feed. Sometimes the audio may pop on. I don't want to miss any audio. I'll just turn my audio up here. And then we can go back and watch it here. So if it might be a overlap. Let's see what they agreed to. It was something strange. Let's see. What was that about? What?
Listen to what he's going to say. This has been agreed to, stipulated. Go ahead.
The people in the defense stipulate that the prop gun testified about in this case would have ejected 2 fired cartridge cases as it was fired. The fired cartridge cases previously marked as People's Exhibit 32 were not fired from the prop gun. So stipulated this.
Wait a minute. So it seems as if they are saying that the prop gun, when it was fired, it would have ejected 2 shell casings. Even though it's a prop gun, it would have shot out 2 shell casings. But the 2 shell casings that were shot out did not come from the prop gun. That means that the shell casings came from a different gun. That means that they think that are they admitting that the shell casings are fake? It seems though they're admitting that the shell casings were planted. Let's listen to it one more time. That's what I think I heard. Let's go through it one more time. And I'm watching it from a different feed, so when it comes back to real time, I jump back forward. But what? It sounds like, let's go through it one more time before we listen to it again. They're saying that the prop gun, even though it was a prop gun, it should have still ejected shell casings. But they're saying that the shell casings that they found at the scene from Exhibit 32, they really found at the scene, were not the shell casings from that prop gun. So in theory, y'all are saying that y'all think the shell casings are fake. Y'all are confirming they really planted those shell casings. What?
Have come to an agreement on what the witness would say. It's another stipulation. So who's going to?
I'll read it here.
All right. So listen to what he's going to say. This has been agreed to, stipulated. Go ahead.
The people in the defense stipulate that the prop gun testified about in this case would have ejected 2 fired cartridge cases as it was fired. The fired cartridge cases previously marked as People's Exhibit 32 were not fired from the prop gun. So stipulated this.
All right, the court accepts.
What the? Wait a minute. Why would the prosecutors stipulate to that? Hold on. Wait a minute. Why? So the prosecutors are essentially saying that yes, the prop gun would have ejected shell casings. Even though it's a fake gun, it still would have had shell casings. But the shell casings found at the scene are not the shell casing from that prop gun. Now, maybe they can concede that if it was a prop gun, the shell casings wouldn't come from that prop gun. But I'm not sure if they are admitting that it's a prop gun now. I mean, why would y'all admit that now? Let me listen to it one more time to get some understanding. Y'all tell me if I'm off, if it's something, if they're saying something else that I'm missing.
Say this has been agreed to, stipulated. Go ahead.
The people in the defense stipulate that the prop gun testified about in this case would have ejected 2 fired cartridge cases as it was fired. The fired cartridge cases previously marked as People's Exhibit 32 were not fired from the prop gun. So stipulated this.
All right, the court accepts. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a bad stipulation for the prosecutors. I didn't hear that, Miss Betty. He is saying that the gun was a real gun and not a prop gun. I didn't hear that. It sounded like the prosecutor said the gun that was testified to that it's a prop gun. Yeah, I didn't hear that part. He is saying that the gun was a real gun and not a prop gun. It seems as though they're admitting that the prop gun shoots off shell casings, but there's no way that those shell casings could have been from a prop gun. Those cases have to come from a real gun. What's going on?
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Thank you
Can
for
you hear me?
joining. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What you think?
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because what I was saying was I don't think they're admitting anything, right?
Okay.
I think that they're in agreement. I think they all along, I think they already knew this. Like, and I think I don't know why all of a sudden, I don't even know why it even went this far. Because everything, well, first of all, nothing has been proven.
Right.
Secondly, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, nothing has been proven as far as this whole him shooting. I mean, it hasn't been proven. That's first of all. But then all of every story that really made up, I mean, I don't know. I think that they've known all along that this is just silly.
Right. And it sounds as though, to me, the prosecutors may not be conceding that their theory that it was a real gun, but it's suspect that they would agree that, if it's a prop gun, the shell casing that really found wouldn't have come from that prop gun.
Right. Where's the Dunkin' Donuts video?
Yeah, where's the Dunkin' Donuts video? Where's the employee? Some people said that he said different color bags. It was a black
He
bag
did.
and then it was a
He
white
did.
bag. So yeah, where is Dunkin'
Brown paper
Donuts?
bag. I mean, what did you pick the shell casings up with your fingers? I mean, he said he had a pen and a bag.
Come on.
Pen and a bag, not tweezers, not, you know, and then there were no prints on the cases as either. Like it's just I don't know. I don't think they're admitting anything because that would just be too much like right. And that would make them look too much like wrong. So no, they're not admitting to anything.
Well, to me, it just seems bad that they will even admit that the prop gun, because the prosecutors agree with the defense that the prop gun shoots out shell casings. If I'm the prosecutor, I would leave the theory I had all along. No, the prop gun doesn't shoot out shell casings. The only reason there were shell casings was because it was a real gun.
A real gun, exactly.
Real gun.
But they're not even They're not even saying that.
What you mean?
They're not even there. Well, so it's an indication, like what you were saying, they may be conceding that, okay. Yeah, so we got shell casings, but the defense is that it was a prop gun. And so a prop gun would not leave shell casings, but a real gun would.
Right, but they agreed that the prop gun will leave shell casings. That's what they just agreed to. They stipulated, which means agreed, that the shell casings from the prop gun will leave shell casings. And I think that's bad on their part. They should have said, we're not stipulating anything. The shell casings that were found came from a real gun. And there's no way a prop gun could have left shell casings. So I don't know why would they. Let me see that first part of that sentence when he says that they agree.
Agreed to. Stipulated. Go ahead.
The people in the defense stipulate that the prop gun testified about in this case would have ejected 2 fired cartridge cases.
Okay, so we stipulated that the prop gun testified to would have ejected 2 shell casings
as it was fired. The fired cartridge cases previously marked as People's Exhibit 32 were not fired from the prop gun.
Right. So they're agreeing that it would have ejected shell casings, but the shell casings found did not come from that gun.
Right. And that's another gun, but then you still don't have on video where this dude shot the gun.
Right.
Where is that at? You didn't prove that. Like this was a waste of, it could have been, I don't know. This just was a waste. I think somebody wanted, okay, well, this is a high profile, so I think that has a lot to do with it. And then I think really wanted some money, or he thought he was going to be able to, I don't know. And maybe something will happen in that civil case or whatever the other thing he has going on. Maybe something will happen there. But yeah, it just didn't work out.
And people are saying in the chat they don't even have the prop gun, and where is the fake gun?
Where is it?
So I would not, if I'm a prosecutor, I would not stipulate to anything I don't have. Now, if I had the prop gun here and we went out and we tested it, shot it, and I saw for myself it dispensed shell casings, okay. But for all I know, it don't dispense shell casings, and the shell casing from the scene actually came from a real gun. Now, do I believe that argument? Me personally, no. But I think it was the strongest argument for the prosecutors for their case that it was a real gun. But for them to even agree to the idea that those shell casings could have came from a fake gun, but the shell casings found at the scene from really are not those shell casings, that's too much confusion.
And this whole case was a lot of confusion. The whole entire case, and really, and all of that confusion energy, confusion combustion, he brought it, and it traveled all throughout this case. Like, oh my gosh. And here we are.
Right.
What's the jury? I feel sorry for the jury. I don't feel sorry for them. I mean, it's just, I wouldn't want to be on this jury.
Right. What's going on, Mr. Jones? You want to jump in?
Oh yeah, what's going on?
What's your take? I know you got some good for us.
Hey VJ, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
It's what I was telling you. It was a defense witness, and it was the witness, the director from where ASAP Lou had gave the gun back to. That it was either him or Ills, because they said they was waiting on them to get there by 1:30 if they come.
Okay.
And that's what it was. It was one of those two. Yeah, the prosecution. Well,
Ills?
Yeah,
you think it was Ills or who else?
The director from New York about the prop gun that ASAP Lou said he gave it back to.
Yeah.
It was only one of them two. That's why they were so willing to stipulate. I think they was there. and the prosecutor didn't think they was gonna come, and then they showed up. So they hurried up and they said, okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and stipulate to this because they knew if they got on the stand, they killed their case 100%. But their case is done already.
It's done.
When they stipulated, it was a lose-lose situation for the prosecutor. It was a lose-lose situation for them. And then, you know, your own witnesses didn't help your case. You know, I don't see no lesser included offense because they never asked for lesser included offense.
Right.
So they
and sometimes that's the gamble that defense attorneys and prosecutors make. Sometimes instead of giving the jury something to choose from in the middle, you either make them either going to be guilty on the big charge or not guilty. You don't give them like a misdemeanor to pick.
Right.
In the middle. No, go all the way or not at all. So it's sometimes it's strategy. If you got a case where you think your client may be found guilty, you may want to give a lesser included offense, such as a misdemeanor or a lower charge that the jury can pick from, so your client don't be exposed to the maximum if the jury votes guilty. But then sometimes you may have your client may say, no, I want to go home. I don't want nothing in the middle. I don't want to accept responsibility for something I didn't do. Either they're going to prove it all the way or not at all. So you don't submit any lesser included offenses to the jury. And from my understanding, they're reading them now. I'm not sure why the judge has ordered the cameras to be off. And they say cameras are off for jury instructions per the judge's order. And that's what they have on the screen right now, which is, crazy to me. We saw the whole trial, but we can't hear you read a piece of paper.
No. It's only gonna take them about 40 minutes to read the jury.
Right. Like what?
Yeah, well, I don't understand why the defense didn't still move for a directed verdict. I still think they should have, whether they got it or not, you still should have moved for it, because the way the judge was dealing with that prosecutor, and I was looking at his body language on that stand, he was fed up with the prosecutor, and then he was really fed up with Relly.
But then we don't know though, because the judge been real shaky in this case, because sometimes the cameras will come on and they be halfway already started. So we don't know if he did move for a directed verdict when the cameras were off, because the judge, he's not traditional. The cameras off, certain parts, certain things that can be on, but I think y'all both on point. This now the stipulation, I don't know. I think I would have made the witness come in there, and John Lewin could have just did what he did with the other witnesses, just kind of play with their credibility as much as he could. But to just lay down and just like you did with that man's wife, just lay down.
Oh, I told you.
And agree. That's so crazy.
I told you about that. You found it, I see.
No, Monica B sent it to me by email. Shout out to her. Thank you so much
for
sending it, Monica. But yeah, that was some wild stuff.
Yeah, I told you.
He just laid down, and the prosecution laid down and agreed to it. Just stipulated to it.
And you could see the look on the woman's face when they was asking her questions, how she was sitting there looking like ashamed or embarrassed.
Right.
She was, you seen it all over her face.
Like, woman, if you got that kind of money, you could have did a little better.
Well,
you could have did a little better. You didn't have to go with a married man way in California. I'm sure New York got plenty.
Nah, listen, for me, it's deeper than that. How in the world do you lay down with the same man who got your husband a life sentence, and then you let him come to your home just a few months after your husband died and did that? Come on, man. That's that caveman bestiality type stuff going on.
He I mean, he kind of not. He got him a life sentence, in theory a death sentence, because at his age, there's no way he was going to be able to make it out of that jail alive. And it was just crazy that he was able to get away with that. And I'm guessing this is what this lawsuit is about. I'm not sure what the outcome is. I don't know if y'all know, did they settle it or are they still going for it?
You talking about the lawsuit against Lewis?
Or why is the prosecutor being deposed? What is the deposition for?
You talking about the prosecutor and Lewin? Because it's two of them. That lawsuit is against Lewin and the head prosecutor now. It's against both of them. They both co-defendants in that. Two former prosecutors that worked in the DA's office when under the old prosecutor, and then when this new prosecutor came in, he demoted both of them, and then he promoted Lewin. It's a bunch of dirty stuff going on.
Right.
It doesn't pass the smell test.
It don't pass the what Kayla say? Kayla went in court and told she told the DA don't pass the smell test.
Yeah, she was talking to Adrian.
Because she was the one that put that in the motion or whatever, she was the one that wrote that. So she wanted to make sure, listen, I read it, and while you I just want to make sure I passed the smell test.
Right.
Y'all, that body language, did y'all see her?
They said it first against her in the back
Exactly.
room. And when she read the transcript, she just kind of dished it back on them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she was friends with she said she was friends with Hilton, but after this, she said they're not even friends anymore because of that case.
She was cool with both of them until this case.
She said she doesn't have any respect for love. But she said that she was actually friends with Hilton, but she's no longer after their case or whatever, after the debacle, after everything or whatever. She said that, just no respect and just nothing left for them. And I think that's bad.
And the way she was running around
they're colleagues.
Yeah, but she was running around court, during the opening statements, making a fool of herself.
Who is that?
Hilton. So now you can't be my friend, at least for 30 days.
No.
You made a fool of yourself, and you call yourself we friends?
Love
go sit over there.
Love did the opening statement, not Hilton.
No, I'm talking about when Hilton did the closing.
Oh, the closing.
She was making a complete fool of herself.
She was nowhere near as bad as Love's opening. With Gary Hilton, she was doing good until she got hood and started acting with all the theatrics.
Right.
That's when she lost the jury.
She was hood from the jump.
No, what I'm saying is from the jump. What I'm saying is she was carrying herself more professional, and then
throughout the trial,
she was. And once Woody got on the stand, it seemed like there was a switch. She kind of switched and started doing stuff that Love was doing. That's how they got all them plea bargains going, because it was finna be a mistrial. It was gonna be without prejudice, but that mean they would have had to start everything over, and they wasn't gonna find a jury that'll convict them, because they didn't get, the two that stayed didn't get convicted anyway.
Well, I think she was doing. I don't think it had just started with Woody. I don't think that was the beginning of it. I'm sorry.
As far as what Hilton was.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think that she didn't like the fact that he called her out on the stand and said what he said. You talk this way when it's just me and you know, and that's how you were talking. Now you're in here and you're talking different. You're moving different. You acting different. No, I don't think that was the beginning. I think he called it out, and I think she didn't like it, and I think that magnified what was already going on in the background.
Yeah, I agree. I think when he said that, it was kind of lost on some of us because we didn't know the full meaning of what he
I didn't
was
believe it.
saying. He was like, okay,
Mhm.
you acting different now, but you act that way, you know, when we were talking. But then as the trial went on in the closing arguments, her true colors came out. And Love was looking like a proud mama. Love was like, yeah, there you go. Get him, B. That's how you do it.
And that's what I'm saying. Because I didn't think she was doing a bad job until Woody got on the stand. Woody owned her.
No, she wasn't really doing the greatest job anyway.
Right, but see,
I'm sorry, she could not be my professor at Emory University. I would have had to drop that class.
She put all her eggs in one basket because she was banking on Woody telling her what he told her with a private conversation. But when he come to court and say, hey, all this I told you, I lied. Then she stuck. Then she's like, oh, what I'm gonna do now? You know, that ain't what you said the other night. That ain't what you said last. Now you come to court. Yeah, and so he played her for a fool.
But he
I don't know if I'll take her or not if she's a professor, just to sit back there and get a good show.
No, I don't understand how she, but listen, she 10 times better than Love. That's why she's still in the courtroom now and Love not. You know, Fannie Willis pulled Love up out of there.
I'm trying to see, is that a bad
Are we
thing?
sure it was Fonnie that did that? Because that letter that she wrote said otherwise.
Fonnie's the only one who can do it. She's the head DA. She's the only one who can make that.
I don't know.
I don't think she really pulled her.
Love probably bowed out gracefully. She probably just said, I'm done with it. You
I
know,
think so.
That's possible. That's possible. But if she didn't bow out gracefully, the only other person who could have got her up out of there is Fonnie Willis. Nobody else has the power to do it. It has to be Fonnie.
Yeah, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. I think she didn't like, because she was really.
I think she froze. I think it was just time for her to go, and she realized she saw the writing on the wall. See, some people, it take them a while to pick up, to see the signs, and by then it's too late. You don't know how to read the room. She saw the case was over with, and she said, "Man, let me get out of here. I'm gonna take the credit if it's something good." Like when Young Thug did his plea, she was front and center reading the plea, but when it was time for them to lose, she all in the back, sitting in the second row, like she ain't had nothing to do with the case.
Well, yeah, I mean, she definitely was a sore loser because the jurors even said it. Everybody came back to the jury room to talk to him. Abate, Hilton, the defense, the judge, and she was the only one who didn't show up, and that made that rubbed them the wrong way.
And they probably, we gotta remember, they probably had Love there because she had a certain level of control over Glenville, even though she kind of lost that in the end. They used her to control Glenville, get what she want. Maybe Glenville reminded her, she reminded Glenville of his wife, so he was always nice to her. But when she got over there with Whitaker, she was like, "Oh yeah, Whitaker not playing." She said, "I'm gonna end up getting held in contempt and going to jail for with Whitaker. So let me get out of here." And she lifted up that church finger and tiptoed off the sanctuary.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, she was. Here's the problem, and this is what happens these days, and why you see these prosecutors the way they are, because they get too emotionally and personally invested in these cases, and you're not supposed to do that. See, the prosecutions these days, they're out for the win, and that's really not how it's supposed to be. The prosecution is supposed to be about justice. Receiving justice. Defense lawyers like yourself, y'all more about the wins and losses, but as far as the state, they're supposed to be about justice, and that's why these cases going like they going for them, because they're not about justice. They just about trying to get a win to make a big name for themselves.
Okay, she said I'll be back. I think she had lost a connection. Somebody had asked me or asked the chat. Let's see if I can find it. What was the self-defense about? I mean, I think that really helps out Rocky in a way, because if it's a fake gun, then you don't even have to reach self-defense. It's a fake gun. But even if you think it's a real gun, was Rocky justified in using it to fire warning shots to scare Relly off, because Relly was the aggressor and Relly kept continuing to attack Ills. So the warning shots were necessary. So I think it's a good jury instruction that the jury should consider. And I think it's good that Rocky's attorney was able to get that instruction on the jury list. Oh, I don't know if he was talking to me or somebody in the background. You were saying something? Oh man, yeah, we can't hear you unless you're talking to somebody else. All right, how about now?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, we can hear you now.
Okay.
I didn't know if you were trying to talk to me or you were talking to somebody else in the background, so you muted it.
No, my phone rang, and on my other phone I had to answer it.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I got you. No problem.
I don't.
I can let you out. You want to come back in on your other device?
So
Yeah, but my volume
we are
down.
in session Thursday. Please be here at 9:30. Outside the courtroom doors, 9:30. Is that a problem for anybody? All right. At 9:30, or as close to that time as possible, we'll have you come in and you'll hear the submissions of counsel. As I tell you each time, please keep an open mind. You have not heard everything. You have not begun your deliberations. And please do not look at anything on the internet regarding this case, or look at anything in print media. All right, have a good day tomorrow. See you Thursday, 9:30.
Well, okay. So I'm gonna keep it up for a few seconds. Sometimes when the jury leaves, the lawyers might have discussion with the judge. So let's see.
I mean, that was quick.
Right, he read pretty fast.
Yeah.
He said it was gonna take him about 30, 40 minutes. Yeah. And that's what I was thinking. Why even go to lunch and come back? Just read it now and everybody can go home for the day.
I don't think they went to lunch, especially once they discovered that that other witness wasn't gonna come in and testify, because they stipulated. I'm telling you what happened. That was a defense witness.
To generate a copy of the jury instructions for each one of you. Remember, 9:30 on Thursday. Mr. Steve, anything for the record? There you are. Mr. Tacopina, anything for the record?
For the record, no.
Mr. Paslomia, anything for the record? No, you're right. All right, we're off the record. See you Thursday.
That's the record, no.
All right, come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
one thing I will say, for some reason, the defense lawyers didn't do a good job at all controlling the prosecutor objecting, and it seemed like they didn't know which objections to make.
Yeah. And sometimes the strategy, certain things you don't correct if it's not really harmful, but something you object to, and it seemed like, Joe took the more relaxed approach. He was just letting them talk. I think I personally would have objected way more. So yeah, I do agree that he could have made more objections, but I know some lawyers have different styles. Right? Did they do? No, they didn't do closing today. They do closing on Thursday, and it sounded like he said 9:30.
9:30, yep.
And that's LA time, so
It'll be 12:30.
12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the style. I'm talking about he should have been more active in getting at the judge or having the judge get at Lewin for the way he was talking to those witnesses.
Oh yeah. I think he was being disrespectful. He was yelling, aggressive. His tone was completely out of order.
But then you said with the strategy, he might have let it go on because he looking at the jury, he paying attention to the jury, and the jury not liking how he talking to the witnesses.
Right.
Especially when their witness got up there and was disrespectful to everybody in the courtroom.
Right. And maybe he wanted the jury to see that, expose his hand, to show him being rude and disrespectful. Maybe the jury was getting angry with the prosecutor. So if they're getting angry with him, you're looking at the jury's faces and you see they are not liking it. Let them keep talking.
Yeah.
So we don't have the benefit of seeing what they see in the courtroom, so we can't really get the full picture.
Right, because we don't see the jury.
But if you see him making a mistake, then let him keep making it. Let me see something they did. So the screen went back to brown. I'm not sure why. Let's double check and make sure we're not missing nothing. Huh. Lamar Harper said it's crazy. It's crazy in Cali.
Yeah,
Anybody in here from Cali? It's crazy. What's really going on?
Yeah, I never even been out there.
Yeah, that facts. Yeah, it was one guy, Don. He ain't been on in a while. He was from Cali. He was here a lot during the YSL trial. And he could have gave us some insight, but yeah, I just want to know what's going on in Cali. What's really going on? Marvin Gaye said what's going on. I think he did an album that said what's going on.
Right. They
So what you thinking now? Where do we go from here?
I mean, I still stand on what I said. I'm not wavering. I'm not gonna say ASAP Rocky innocent, but they haven't proved it was anything more than a prop gun, and the defense don't have to prove anything, and they haven't proved it was a real gun beyond a reasonable doubt. And then on top of that, they just stipulated that the shell casings they found were not related to the and even the prosecutor said it. He kept saying prop gun. I wouldn't have used the word prop gun if I'm him, because it seemed like you conceding that it was a prop gun. And in that case, the jury cannot find guilty.
Yeah, it was. I agree with you. It was just too. I mean, if you don't really we have to play it back a few times just to grasp it. I mean, the jury if they hearing that you stipulating and they don't really catch what you meaning, and you saying, okay, yeah, we agree it's a prop gun, and we agree that the bullets found didn't come from the gun, then they may be like, oh.
But he kept using the word prop gun.
Prop gun.
And that wasn't Lewin, that was the other one. I didn't see Lewin in there.
Yeah, I didn't see him neither.
You know, they probably said, we got to get him out of here. Now, maybe he going to do the closing. No, I think this dude going to do the first closing. And then once the defense go, I think Lewin going to come up and mess it up. He going to do it. He going to pull a Hilton on the closing.
Yeah, I agree. I think, the young guy's going to go first, get his feet wet. The defense going to go. I'm thinking it's probably going to be Tacopina. He's going to go.
Oh, yeah.
And then back to Lewin.
Listen, if I'm Tacopino, because I'm quite sure that jury, I mean, he ain't bad like dude. He wasn't disrespectful, but he just looked menacing, you know. And then he got that big, deep voice, big dude. Looked like he been chewing on steroids like Flintstone vitamins. I would let that lady get up there, that female attorney.
Who?
And the female with Tacopino, ain't she a lawyer?
Well, the thing is, I wouldn't advise that, because the jury, they build bonds with the lawyers all the way from jury selection. So they're comfortable with you. The whole jury selection, you're asking them questions, you're involved. She hasn't been involved this whole trial. So, the main
let the other guy do it.
They're gonna be looking upside her head like, who is this woman? They're not gonna be listening to nothing she's saying. We ain't even know. They're gonna be like, we didn't know she could talk. We didn't even know she was a lawyer. So you need a lawyer who they're familiar with, and I think either Joe or the other guy. But they want Joe to go. Joe just to start the show now.
You think that's what the jury want? You think the jury? Well, maybe.
They want him. They want Joe to get mad. You know, they're like he gonna drink his. Look, they in their head. He gonna drink his water. He gonna hit that table. He gonna throw his head back. He gonna breathe out loud. He gonna object. They want to see all that.
Well, maybe.
Andrew C. wonder where Eels is. Why wouldn't he have testified? I don't think he could have added anything different than what 12 added. 12 was there.
Well, he could have added, if he'd have got on the stand, he could have added that everything 12 said was true, because he was the one that was getting punched.
Well, I guess that makes sense. He can say that had it not been for Rocky shooting that gun, really would have still been attacking me, or still would have been punching me till this day. He'd still be on top of me if Rocky wouldn't have shot that prop gun. So I guess, but the thing is, they probably thought, based on, because you got to know all your players, and they probably thought, based on Eels and his personality, maybe his temperament, could he withstand the scrutiny of the prosecutor, Lewin? And Lewin will push every button you have to try to get you to act a fool in court. He tried to do it with Wally, but Wally was cool. Wally wasn't gonna let nobody get him upset about nothing.
No, he didn't rattle none of them. I think he was kind of, I think he didn't rattle none of them, but I think it was on the edge of rattling 12.
Yeah,
but
he was on the edge of 12, and Lou, he didn't rattle Lou per se with words, but you could tell his body language was a little bit uncomfortable.
And that's the thing. If he's talking to you're a grown man, and this grown man is sitting up there talking to you in this courtroom like that, knowing that anywhere outside that courtroom he wouldn't talk to you like that. So it gotta bother you. It has to.
Oh, Tia pointed out a good point. Really said that Eels was on drugs now, so that's another reason. I mean, if he's on drugs and he's not a good witness, don't bring him to court.
But hold on, Tia. How you gonna believe anything Relly say? Not saying that he's lying, but I wouldn't believe nothing he say. I would have to see it.
But who were they calling the crackhead the whole trial?
Ills called, Relly called Ills a crackhead, and then he told 12, you live in the projects. I mean, come on, man. You 35, you 30 plus years old at this time, man. How's you out here act? And then you get on the stand and make yourself look like a straight jackass. You looking like, like real talk. He up there looking like a cash money clown.
Tia said, I think that's why the defense didn't use him as a witness. And that makes sense. If
possible.
Yeah, it's possible. If he's on drugs, I mean, I've seen witnesses come to court, and I was like, I don't know why the prosecutors call this person. You know that you waiting to set it up. I mean, you just handed me a meal ticket. So I can see it, because if Ill's not there 100% in his mental state, and maybe he has a drug issue that he's battling with, maybe not. You know, we got to say that because really could be lying. You don't want to put him up against Lewin. That's a bad. And when you had 12 and Louis and Wally all said the same thing.
Right. They all, and the biggest thing was, and you kept seeing Lewin trying to, that's why he was trying to frustrate them, because he would ask them a question, they would answer the question, or he would ask them a question where he knew that they would have to explain something, and then he'll object, motion to strike, and you get, but everything 12 said on that stand, everything that I seen, when you look at that video, it all happened just like he said it.
Yeah.
You and then he asked the dumbest question I ever heard. Well, if you know it's a prop gun and it shoots blanks and it can't fire a bullet, why would he aim it at the ground? What he supposed to do? Aim it at the person? No, I'm not doing it. I'm shooting it just to try to scare him. I'm not trying to shoot it. I'm not gonna point it, even if it's no. That was the dumbest question I think he could have asked.
Okay,
and that's why.
Oh, go ahead.
And that's why I was saying 12 was kind of getting frustrated with dude, even though he kept his poker face on. I could feel the energy he was at, and that's why I said he was getting, because I think he was getting frustrated because he was trying to explain what happened, and dude wouldn't let him. Because listen, Lewin, he's not a dummy, but he ain't the smartest knife in the drawer.
General counsel said that he believes that Levin was such a bad witness in his opinion. Maybe because, like we said, the body language kind of looked, and I believe this is ASAP Lou. I believe Levin is his real name. I believe his body language was starting to, he was starting to get uncomfortable, and he was saying that he bought the wrong magazine, and he left the gun at Rocky's house because he was
No, he left the magazine. He didn't leave the gun.
The magazine, and then he sold he took the gun to New York and gave it to somebody, and he don't know who they gave it to. I can see that. I can see it going either way, General Counsel.
No, he that was the prop gun he took back to New York.
Right.
And he gave it back to the director of the company that they was doing it. He said he don't know what he did with it. I mean,
that's believable. Asked him what he did with it.
Huh?
And he never asked him what he did with it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't care.
Now that's kind of strange, because he said that he asked him, but he never asked him what he did with the gun. But my thing is, if you reach out to him, hey, you got the gun, and the director say, no, I don't have it anymore, your follow-up question would be, well, can you get it back? Rocky's been charged. Is he going to need that gun for trial? Do you know who have it? He just said once the guy told him he didn't have it anymore, he left it alone.
No, he did say he asked him, and he said it's gone.
Well, I think the issue was he never asked him who had the gun.
Right. He didn't ask him who had. But here's the thing: he don't have to ask him nothing. They don't have to prove nothing. The burden is on the prosecution. And dude was trying to burden shift. He kept trying to burden shift, asking all them asinine questions that didn't mean nothing.
Right, but it's not that, it's just logical when you're having a logical conversation with somebody. Would that have been a question you would have asked? If it's a fake gun and you need the gun back so you can prove Rocky innocent, why wouldn't you just ask the guy, hey, who has the gun? Can I reach out to them so I can get it back for a couple of months? I needed to prove Rocky's innocence. So I don't think that's beyond reason that a normal person would ask when they're on the phone.
Right. But here's the thing. Whether he asked or not, he don't have to tell the prosecution nothing, because it's not the just like he asked him, why didn't you go to the police or go to the DA's office? He's asking 12 that. And because I don't have to. That would have been my response to him. And I wouldn't have made myself look bad in front of that jury. But I was like, because he asked him, did you investigate further? I'd have told him, no, I'm not an investigator.
Right.
That's where the burden shifting was coming in. He's burden shifting and trying to make them prove Rocky's innocent instead of them proving Rocky guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. It's burden shifting. No, they didn't have to ask nothing. I'm not volunteering my services going to no police. I'm not volunteering my service talking to y'all. I'm gonna do what I do. Well, if this your friend, yeah, he's my friend, and he's still my friend. But that don't mean I got to go do your work for you.
Right. It's not a requirement for sure. Definitely not a requirement that they go out and investigate. Now, had it been, the gun was able to be produced. It's the same gun that's on video. They can show it. The jury they can go outside, show them shooting it, and it's a prop gun. No, that's easy not guilty.
I think it's an easy not guilty anyway, and not because I'm saying he's innocent, but I do believe it was a fake gun, because even when he shot it, his hand was down when he's shooting it, and this dude had the nerve to ask him, why would he hold it down just to shoot? Because he don't want to hurt nobody. He's not trying to shoot nobody. Like, I don't know. I think that prosecutor and Relly, they killed the case, because there was nothing that the police officer or the investigator could say, because the police officer admitted, and the detective, when they got to the scene, they saw no evidence of a shooting. So how did you even bring this case? There's no evidence, because this guy said it.
Oh, there we go, Lady BJ. There we go.
Hey.
I think there may be a lag.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, okay, there you go. You
hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, because I was trying to chat at the same time. Yeah. Okay.
And then we lost them. I got you back, and then we lost it. Oh, there you go.
Crazy. Okay.
My fault. Heck, I went on because I was trying to check. I seen you had sent messages in the chat, so I was trying to check your chat, your messages.
Y'all was talking to
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when the messages come up, I get them too, even if I'm trying to do that, and then I done kick myself out.
I know, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, you had some good points. You guys had some good points, and the reason why I gave the rating for defense was I don't know. I don't know if maybe it was strategy, like TTL said, or if it was pointless. Maybe like it's like why if I try to object, I got to go through all this, and then it didn't seem like the judge. I don't know. The judge was kind of iffy for me in a lot of those, in some areas. And so, it could have been strategy as far as objections. That's why I think I gave an 8 because he just seemed like I don't think he didn't know. I think it was a matter of should I or shouldn't I or whatever. But that's my opinion on that. I'm in Walgreens. That's why I went on and pulled up or whatever. I'm waiting on a prescription. So I'm a go off camera. I'm a mute and go off camera for a second.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I agree with her. Listen, I'm not saying that their strategy was bad, and I'm talking about the defense. What I'm saying is I didn't like how he let the prosecutor do so much. The witnesses, you want them to, as far as the prosecution witnesses, you want them to ramble on unless they're saying something that's hurting you.
Right.
Like he did with Relly. He let Relly talk and talk and talk. And he really didn't object until like they were trying to lead Relly. And
Wait, who is Joe?
Tacopina.
Joe was on the phone too much for me. On the phone with who? I didn't see Joe on the phone. When was Joe on the phone?
I didn't see him on the phone in the courtroom.
Tay Tune. Joe was on the phone too much for me. Yeah, I don't remember him being on the phone, but it could have been something that I missed. Tayo, there was a case where really fumbled it. He was the worst victim ever. Really was terrible on the stand at CMAC Facts. Princess. Oh, Tay said I did. Chelsea said I seen Lewin on the phone, but you say you seen Joe on the phone.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't saying he wasn't on the phone. I didn't see him on the phone.
I didn't see.
But you didn't see him a lot, especially when the prosecution was up there. I will tell you one thing about him that I did like. When, other than Relly, their examinations and cross examinations was straight to the point, direct, and they did what they did and got out of there. The prosecutor got up there. You heard what the judge told the prosecutor. I'm trying to get this case over by the end of the decade. When he had to say that to the prosecutor, he's telling you talking too much and you're not saying nothing.
Right, you dragging it on. You dragging his case. What you dragging it for? Let the facts speak for itself. If you got a case, Mr. Prosecutor, that's what the judge really wanted to tell him.
Right. And that's the thing. If you got a good case, all you got to do is make your point and move on. If the defense come back on recross, then you get a chance to go back on redirect. Or if they come back on redirect, you get a chance to recross. You don't have to take all that time. And you keep asking the same rhetorical questions. And you ask it in a different way. And then you start raising your voice, getting mad. I ask you the questions. You answer when I ask you. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know how to be professional and all that. But I'd ask him, who you think you talking to? I'm not on trial.
I see. Oh, okay, never mind. No gun. Okay, that's something different. But yeah, you're right. He yelling and he acting a fool, but it's best not to get into an argument with the prosecutor. Just let the jury see for who he is. Rihanna walked in, the jury said hands down, not guilty for sure.
Yeah, I wish people keep saying that, man, but I wish people would stop doing that. Like, she ain't got nothing to do with the case. She just there to support her man. Oh, and then I heard somebody talking about putting Rihanna. Why would they put her on the stand? She has nothing to do with nothing. Just
So she can
because she
show off that
Rihanna,
on. She can show off
just
that
because
on.
just because she Rihanna, man, listen, that prosecutor would have made her look like a fool up there.
Right, and hurt her brand. She got money to make. She ain't trying to mess up her brand.
Yeah,
Like
no,
on the stand and but
just let her be a support system for a man.
as far as the phone, sometimes phones are used for more than text messages nowadays. You got your internet, your notes, you can email back and forth with other lawyers, and you can research. Sometimes you can fact check live. So if a witness is testifying to something, you can pull up on your phone, your email, or you can Google what they're saying, or look at your discovery and see if you can find out if they're lying. So when it's your time to cross-examine the witness, you can get up there and know what you're talking about. So it's real time fact checking. But I don't think he was like no disrespect to the court by being on your phone. I'm sure I'm in trial a time or two, and the witness may say something. There's a study that says this. I may get on my phone and Google what that study is. That
Right.
actually happened one time. Some expert witness said that, and come to find out, it was no such thing as a study. She had it all mixed up, and my client was found not guilty. So it's possible that you can, use your phone. Some people use laptops, whatever's quicker. As soon as I heard really brought in the cases, I'll throw it out if I was the judge. Throw it out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, those shell cases shouldn't have been allowed in the first place. I mean, because the scene was tampered with, it was tainted. When he touched but hold on, before we even get there, wasn't no shell casings out there. He brought those shell casings out there. And remember this. Remember when the detective got on the stand and he tried to recant what he said when they seen the video the first time? Oh, he thought it was Relly, and Relly said, "That's me." He said, I know that's me. He said that on direct. But then when the detective get up there, they switch it up. Oh, I don't believe that's him. But Relly said it was him. And where was the girlfriend? Because he said she was with him. Why y'all didn't bring her in the courtroom? She's a witness. She's an eyewitness.
Oh wow! So majority of y'all saying not guilty, 75%, compared to only 7% saying guilty.
Listen, the way the law is, and it's like this in every single state. Every single element of each charge has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Not just the charge, but each essential element has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. There's no way, especially with the prosecutor conceding about the shell casings. And he kept using the word prop gun. The prosecutor did. So if I'm on that jury and this prosecutor keeps saying it's a prop gun, and these shells that were found at the scene did not come from this prop gun, guess what? Okay, now I'm thinking it was a prop gun, not guilty.
Yeah. They said that 7% was hit by mistake. Had to be. But even though, I mean, if you have someone a jury, and I believe that's why some people said hung jury. Let me go back over there. Yeah, 19% saying maybe hung jury. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I think this is the case that they can solve. I think it's
yeah,
a case that they can.
I definitely don't see no guilty verdict.
Not a scam.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe Rocky had no real gun out there. And then they keep asking about security. We at a hotel. What do I need security for? It's us. It ain't like we going out to do a show or something like that, or we going to a mall or nothing. Why do I need this? I'm in my neighborhood because he lives in West Hollywood, don't he? I think they said he lived in West Hollywood.
Who?
Rocky. ASAP Rocky.
Yeah, I think that's what I think he said that's where he from. He can even though he clarified his comments later on. He talking about he's Beverly Hills and Soho, and he can't relate to a certain group of people. He up there in Beverly Hills, but I think he clarified that Rocky. He cleaned it up and said they took it the wrong way. So
Yeah.
I guess he's back at the cookout. But
let me say this though, real quick.
Wait a minute. Who are my Hold on. Who are my neighbors? Kayla and shit. You know what Monica B? No, I ain't seen them. And I was trying my best to process. I was like, what she mean? Where they at? I know they in Texas somewhere, ain't they?
They're in Houston.
Oh, they both in Houston now 4 times.
Yeah.
Cause I know the first time we spoke, I know she was trying to she's gonna be practicing both in Georgia and in Texas. So I don't know if she's jumped through all the hurdles yet to practice in Texas, but I'm sure that's probably gonna be the next thing that she get done if she hasn't already.
No, I think she probably gonna still practice in Georgia, but
oh yeah, because she knows she got a lot of connections there. Yeah, for sure.
Right, but her base is in Houston now because that's where she live at now, and it was good, that she got Shannon up out there where they at, because he ain't around all that goofy stuff, and he still shows signs of immaturity. Not saying
Monica.
He not a good, but you still see signs of immaturity in him.
Monica, see what you done started? Yes. See? This is a big place. A big place. So you don't just run into people like that often. Yeah, you don't. it Stay tuned. So that just don't bring none of that down. Y'all funny. Y'all would say anything. Anything. He see I'm not gonna go. Y'all Keys Mobile. Keys. Y'all know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. Hey, I can put a disclaimer that the chat comments are their own, and they are not a reflection of what they say. Some of them are a reflection of me. Some of them are co-signed, but some of them I don't know nothing about. I don't know nothing about y'all. Here y'all go. But yeah, so y'all jury closing arguments will be on Thursday. The judge read the jury instructions, and if y'all can get a copy of the jury instructions, send them to me so we can go over them and kind of walk through what they are. But I'm not sure why the judge wanted the cameras off. I mean, Judge, if you don't know all them words, just say you don't know all them words. I mean, it happens. So you're gonna see a word or two that you just don't know or don't know how to pronounce. Don't be embarrassed, Judge. Turn that camera back on. It's okay. Some people skip it all together. They see a word and they just skip over it. Some of them try to pronounce it, struggle through it, like they did in school when their name called.
Right.
You're like, man, listen, we're gonna be here all day. If he read one more page, we might as well hang it up. But yeah, if y'all do see the jury instructions, I've been looking on social media, and I haven't been able to see anybody that posted them, but I'm sure they will be uploaded into the court's file.
Well, it's too late now, but we should have had us a ASAP Daily like the Thugger Daily, because Thugger Daily put it out there.
Oh yeah, right. They're gonna go and get it. But I'm sure there are people in the courtroom that's from that area that's been monitoring this trial, sitting there and watching it daily. So I wonder if if the jurors didn't let them record, I don't know how they'd do it unless they were taking notes, so they're gonna get a copy. Maybe they get a copy.
Right.
What's goldfish? Who goldfish? I don't even know. Rocky's down to earth, cool. Really has anger issues. This case didn't have an ASAP Daily to give you all those docs you asking for. Oh no, we need a really daily.
Right. And what they just said about that's true, man. That guy, well, we don't know what Rocky would have been like on the stand because he didn't have to get up there. But as far as Relly, he made a straight fool of himself up there, man. You know, he accused him of lying, talking about the phone call was fake. That's fake. That's fake. 1 minute he say the call fake, and then he turned right back around and say he called me. You know, he was all over the place. The jury don't forget that because that's important stuff. Now, the most important things that the jury got to consider, all that other stuff don't mean nothing. The two most important things that the jury got to really focus on was Relly or Rocky the aggressor, and from the video and what I looked at, Relly was the aggressor. And the other part they got to prove, was the gun real and was it operable? They got to prove both of those things. Those are two most important things they had to prove. And the gun is the most important. Was the gun real and was it operable? Because, and I don't see how they can prove it because you don't have a gun. And then you just conceded that the shell casings found didn't come from the prop gun.
Right. The shell casing found didn't come from the prop gun. I guess if in fact it was a prop gun, and they are also saying that the prop gun shoots out shell casings as well. So yeah, it's insane. I don't think you can see a muzzle flash. The video was really grainy. But my favorite really moment was when he looked Taco dead in the eye and said, "You sneaky." No, really, if anybody in the courtroom sneaky, I would have to say it's you. Because you in here playing the victim, but in reality, if you get money or would have got money, all of this would be going away. You say you'll be on an island somewhere, you hide, they won't be able to find you. You want to get this inwards money. I mean, if if that's what you said, if that's what you want, stand on that and say that to the jury. Don't come to court and start calling the lawyer sneaky when they repeat what you said. Okay, she said it's him, Sharina Byrne. It's him. Okay, maybe I missed something. I can't even beyond a reasonable doubt confirm that was even Rocky in that video.
But that's why they had the 12 get on the stand. He was there so he could point everybody out.
Right. 12 knew, boy. 12 had that what's it called? Not a
That
ruler,
pointer.
and he went to the TV screen. I said, you know everybody? Everybody. He said that shadow right there, you know, that's not Ghostbuster, that's me. And this shadow right here, that's Reddy. I was like, okay. Because to us, it was like a black, you know, like a black blob, like a shadow. We didn't know what it was. Over here, that's Rocky. And he said, me, I got a red jacket on. And next thing you know, it started looking red. I said, he might be on to something. And as he walked us through it, the more it made sense. Really, to me, it appears really was attacking that man, Ills, when Rocky shot the gun towards the ground. I think, and he shot it towards the ground, you know, out of habit. And especially now that we even know that the prop gun shoots out projectiles, or at least a shell casing. You don't want to point it towards nobody. So I guess the safest place would have been to point it towards the ground and not at anybody, even though it was a fake gun. So the prosecutor made such a big deal about, if it was fake, why he pointed at the ground? He should have just pointed it at him. No,
Hey, that line of questioning didn't even make sense, man.
Yeah.
Like, why would you even ask? Because remember, he asked him the one question. He's like, well, what he asking? Let's just say that the prop gun was fake. We're assuming that that it was a prop gun. When he said that, you just admitted that it was a fake gun.
Right.
I forget what else he said with it, but you admitted that the gun was not real.
Somebody said Judge Sneaky too with his sleepy self, but y'all didn't see him. Hey, did he miss anything though? I mean,
I paid attention. He let a lot of stuff the prosecution do. He let them get away with a lot because he was allowing them to ask leading questions. He was and that's, you can't do that.
Well, what do you mean?
And then
leading questions to who?
To the witnesses, and more of the defense witnesses, 12E, Wally, especially 12E and Wally. He was trying to lead them. He was trying to lead them because he would ask them a question, they would answer the question, especially 12E. Then he would double back and ask the question again, but then he would change something in it. But 12E wasn't stupid. He kept asking, can you rephrase that so I can understand?
Right. And I get what you're saying. You're allowed on cross-examination, you're allowed to ask, leading questions per se, but not leading to the point where you're trying to direct them to a particular answer by asking the same question over and over and over again until you get a different answer. And, he was doing that a lot, asking in different ways. They object. He was asking a lot of hypotheticals, making questions, questions that call for speculation. I mean, it was beyond the scope. You can prove a case with circumstantial evidence, but you can't just go into the realm of, pure speculation and make believe and let's just play like the gun was real. And if it was a real gun, what if this and what if that? So I think the judge, I think he let that go on too far. I mean, we're not going to be playing and make believing. If the witness said, I cannot play like it was a real gun because it was not a real gun, I was there, it was fake, then that's the answer. Move on.
Right. But the judge let him do it. That's I don't understand how he let that. And 12, he said, no, it wasn't real. It wasn't a real gun. But the judge, well, let's just assume, like, hypothetically, let's assume. No. And then when the defense got up there and Taco said, okay, hypothetically, first thing he did was objected. First thing he did was objected. When the word hypothetical came out of Taco mouth, Lewin objected.
And then a lot of times the judge would sustain it, but someone said his favorite quote, the prosecutor's favorite quote, I want you to assume.
Nah, this is right here. But he asked him a question, he get the answer he don't want. He said, but what I'm asking you is.
Right. Yeah.
He kept saying that, but what I'm asking you is, I answered you.
Somebody said, I want you to when he said, I want you to assume, they said, Judge, I want you to assume you dismissed the case. I want you to pretend you dismissed this case already so we can move on. Playing with these people time. The alternate juror already said she want to go home. She got stuff to do. And the judge like, nah, we need you next to the courthouse within 5 minutes.
And you know what? And this is why I say, like, okay, they ask him a question and Taco object and he say speculation and the judge is sustain it. Right. Well, when you're asking somebody to assume something, you're asking them to speculate. And that's why Taco should have stopped that. Because these are your witnesses he's doing it to. And all he's trying to do is catch you in a web where you can say one thing that he want to hear. And when he don't hear what he wanted to hear from you, you didn't answer his question the way he thought you would or he thought you should, he got real upset.
Right.
That's why Taco should have objected to that. If he's asking him to assume, he's asking him to speculate. He can't speculate to nothing.
To nothing. How we gonna speculate? What you mean?
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me.
So yeah. Thank y'all for people that pop in and hit the like button. Appreciate y'all. But this is it. I see 80% of y'all saying that not guilty. We still got a good 7% saying guilty. And then you got the hung jury. But if the majority of the jury think the way we think, then I can see a not guilty in the future for Rocky. Now, Rocky, that don't mean go out there and live wild and free. I mean, hey, you got off, leave all that alone. You got security now, you good. Don't get caught up. I have seen that, in cases before, people get confident that they can do anything they want to, or I can just pay my lawyer gonna get me out. That's not always the case. So don't get cocky. Just move on. Leave all that behind. Really moving on. You move on. I think they still got a civil trial. We're gonna cover that. But I don't know if really will get one red penny if the jury find out all of this that went on in this trial.
Yeah, right.
I agree. The whole trial was based on the word of really. And just like the whole trial in YSL was primarily based on the word of Woody. And we saw how that went. The jury said they would have let Young Thug go. The only reason they didn't because he took a plea deal because he didn't want to wait, the extra 60 days or 90 days, which is understandable. He was in there for years.
Yeah.
But they hung they hat on the word of really. They should have said, man, really, as soon as really walked in that office, you went by a Dunkin' Donuts and you got a bag and a pen to pick up the evidence. Boy, get out of here. And you better hope you don't lock you up for filing the false police report on your way out the door.
File the false police report, tampering with evidence, perjury.
Lying on the oath, yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff they can hit him with. But I don't think the DA would do that to him because he would.
And then he flew way to New York to let a doctor in New York look at his quote unquote gunshot wound 2 days later. You get shot in LA and then you fly across the country. Maybe he was on the same plane with the prosecutor because apparently he liked to go to New York too.
For sure.
Maybe he gonna go to your vacation house and y'all gonna chill together with in a $1,700 mansion. $1,700, $17 million mansion.
$17 million beach home.
Beach. Maybe they flying out together. Don't give me the line. So he flew away to New York to get treatment. Then he come back. And then when he comes back, he goes to the police station with a civil attorney. And then he turns in the bullets. And I believe he said that the police were the ones who told him to go to the hospital when he was in New York. And I believe the civil attorney said, we're not going to take the case unless you go to the police. So I don't know if really called his civil attorneys first to try to sue. And the civil attorney said, hey, we're not going to take this case until you go to the police. And then once he went to the police said, we're not going to take this case unless you go to the hospital. And he went to the hospital in New York. So this is a circus, to say the least. And they said he called somebody else a crack. Not a crackhead. Y'all, listen. Well, it looks like we done said all we can say. We done done all we can do. Really plotted this whole case on ChatGPT said, don't lie on me like that. ChatGPT would have came up with a better summary than he came up with. ChatGPT said you a lie and a half. ChatGPT would have got over there with what's it called, DeepSeek, and they would have wrote us a story. Do y'all hear me? A good story. There ain't no way they would have involved no Dunkin' Donuts. Hey, I would have had that script wrote out. Y'all ain't saying nothing in the chat. They would have wrote a script in less than a minute. And they would have told you the reason and why we said what we said. You know how AI, if you go through it, sometimes you can ask them to explain the reasoning, and it'll tell you why they did a certain thing, why they added a certain part to the story. And they would have said, we wouldn't have added the victim going back to the crime scene because he would have been considered a damn fool going to go pick up your own shell cases and going by Dunkin' Donuts. So we wouldn't have used that, and that's why.
Right.
Oh man, we need to put this story in the AI and see what it come up with. They're gonna say, "Man, you lying. Hey, this didn't happen."
Yeah, that.
Hey, I'm gonna say this did not happen. Tell me you lying. Not a crackhead.
Yeah, that's some stuff just don't make common sense.
Shout out to the chat. Thank y'all for liking the video. We just wrapping it up because court ended early today for the people that's popping in, trying to see what we about over here.
Oh yeah.
We have a little joke on the side or two. This ain't nothing personal. I mean, hey, really is still invited to come on the channel. And I'm still trying to work that out, see if we can get him over here to talk to us. Really sit down so we can straighten it out. And obviously we talking now, because we just talking. But obviously if he was to come, it won't be, it won't be rude or disrespectful. This is just our opinions, but if you want to have a conversation, why not? Come over here so we can get it straight.
Oh yeah, that I don't think he gonna go on nobody unless somebody gonna pay him, because he looking bad. And the thing about it, he did it to himself.
He said, "Really will be good." Yeah, we ain't playing now, but we ain't disrespectful. We just giving our opinions. See, a lot of times, even in a YSL case, a lot of times we'll see these people like we watching a TV show. So to us, they characters. And it's a character on the show. You can just say what you want to say, how you feel. But it's a whole different thing when you realize, shoot, that's not a character, that's a real person, because now they sit down talking to you. So you got it's the whole different a level of respect that you gotta utilize when you're talking to a real person. They got feelings and they got their side of the story. They were there, we weren't there, so we're just doing our best to try to piece it together. And he was doing his best to be a CSI technician, gathering those bullets from the crime scene.
Right. And then the
He
prosecutor,
charging almost. Y'all gonna make me almost cuss. She said he charging 1 milli. Oh my god. This chat is undefeated. Y'all know what?
hey, it's crazy. Hey,
What they say? Did they say 1 milli?
oh yeah,
And then they say he trying to sue Relly for $30 million.
trying to see Rocky.
Rocky for 30. That boy, he lucky he get the court in civil court. They may lock him up for trying to take Rihanna's money. Why you trying to take Riri's Finney money? $30 million. Boy, go to jail.
Yeah,
Go
that
straight to jail.
I know he was rubbing them braised knuckles together like
Oh my god.
before this trial happened. He's sitting there rubbing them knuckles together, just get disappointed.
Oh my god.
Cause
Y'all funny. Y'all funny.
he lose. Listen, they get a not guilty verdict. Now, even though the standard is a lot lower in civil court than it is criminal, with his testimony alone and everything, with a not guilty verdict here, there's no way he gonna get nothing.
What do you mean?
In his civil case.
You said that's not what he'll get nothing?
Yeah, no, what I said in a civil case, the burden of proof is a lot lower than it is in criminal.
Right.
Which means criminal, you got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Civil is just by preponderance of the evidence, meaning more likely than not, 51% to 49%.
And he still ain't getting that.
That's what I'm saying. He lose this case and go in there and try to take that to trial, he's going to get hammered. I think that his civil lawyers walked away from, because remember, they left before he got out the stand and never came back. Somebody reported that.
Yeah.
Somebody.
I mean, it was new revelations that were revealed that he deleted text messages. He lied. He said he didn't know why he was going there. Come to find out, he knew why he was going there. And he said it in his text messages, but he deleted them out. So, I mean, I think his civil attorney is like, you know what? Let me count my losses and wrap this up.
Yeah. Like, why would I put all my eggs in this basket knowing it's a losing battle? And remember this. Remember on that call with Wally, he said he chest bumped me and then tried to use, he pulled that gun out for self-defense. He used the word self-defense.
Right.
That did it for him.
Yeah. He did say that in the phone call that Rocky was trying to pull out that gun for self-defense. So, I mean, just him saying that alone, even though people saying it was in a different context, just those words coming out of his mouth could have a lasting impact with the jury when they go to the deliberation room.
Exactly.
Really even said it was self-defense.
Exactly.
The prosecutor even said that it has to be a real gun. If it's a fake gun, he's not guilty. So what are we doing?
Yeah. It's crazy.
They can have this wrapped up before what is it? Thursday.
Oh,
yeah. That had to be wrapped up before Valentine's Day.
I don't know why, because I don't understand, but I think they should have at least started the closing today. You had time.
Yeah, in theory. I think the issue was that the timing. The prosecutor or the defense did not want to have the prosecutor go first, then the defense go, and then on Thursday, the only person you'll hear from is the prosecutor because of timing. Lewin's gonna be long-winded. So what Tacopina saying, everybody go on the same day, all in one day, and be done with it. Don't let one go today and then let the prosecutors go by themselves on Thursday, because that's all the jury will hear from them on. They have only one voice to consider. So I think it was fair.
Oh yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Prosecutor go first, defense go, and then prosecutor again. Instead of prosecutor defense today, and then prosecutor again by themselves on Thursday. So yeah, I think it's the best way. Somebody say Rocky can get out the doghouse before we. Why he in the doghouse? Oh, for having these, for fighting these charges or what?
Man, Rocky ain't in no doghouse.
Law Malcolm, you talking about the Melly case? Law Malcolm, what case? He say we always covering rappers cases. What cases do you want us to cover? Send us a case. Somebody had sent me. They want us to do that case where it's a civil case, and supposedly it's a famous case where this woman is saying that she didn't consent to a hugging scene, or she said that the guy, another actor, was trying to talk to her, and he was all up on her, and she didn't like that, so now she's suing him. They saying it's like another Amber Heard, Johnny Depp case. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
I haven't heard of it.
Man, somebody in the chat know what I'm talking about. What case is that, y'all? Somebody in here know what I'm talking about. There you go. Thank you, Tatum. I don't know the details, but from what I understand, they say it's supposed to be a good one. And I think that they say it's a lot of lying going on, and now they're saying that she's trying to get a gag order to stop Blake from talking to the media.
You know why they doing all that?
Or Blake is trying to get a gag order against Justin to stop him from talking to the media.
Oh yeah, I don't. But you know them gag orders ever since the judge in the YSL case let them talk. They don't want that.
Let me see if I can pull up a timeline. I get you, Tell. Her brand might take a hit if he's found guilty. Okay, thank you, Tell. Don't forget to hit the like. That helps the video circulate to the algorithm. Riri Doghouse for putting the brand in the mud. I don't know about that though. Oh yeah, Tank said we still spending money over there. Yeah, I don't know if her brain should take a hit because of what Rocky's doing now. Rocky may be losing money because a lot of brands may not be working with him until all of this is sorted out. So, and I know he was a model or something like that for the brand or perhaps himself.
Nah, I think he in the fashion design stuff. He's a fashion designer with his.
I was there. What do you mean you were there at which part? He said I was there. I was there when? You were there doing the video shoot? You were there doing the Blake Lively situation? Now, he models for Fenty. Who is he? Oh, you're talking about Rocky models for Fenty. So Rocky does a little bit for his her brand, and Puma maybe a little bit for Puma. Maybe he might be a contract to anybody that's, but I don't know what he meant by I was there. I think Blake lied on the dude or something. Yeah, I gotta go in and get the whole, because I just got an email about that. I haven't had a chance to really do a deep dive to see what's going on. It might attract a different type of crowd to be more diverse. But you know, that Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial was something serious. I mean, and I know we used to mostly criminal trials, but I think a civil one would be a good mix up.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, right. Tell them don't run away. We trying to see what you was there. All right, I love the death. We need him to come up and give us right. He was the Blake stuff is all over my socials. What's going on, Tips Take? Thanks for popping in. Oh, he gone. What? He must be gone, y'all. We almost had it. They were gonna give us the details. At least an explanation of what's going on. Like, what is the basis of the lawsuit? Why is she suing, him? Did he do anything inappropriate? Maybe, and that's probably something you can't answer. I guess that's what the jury is trying to determine. But I kind of seen a video clip. I seen it on social media, and it looked like they were just like hugging close, and they were like talking to each other. But I don't know if she was saying that he went outside of the script to the point of where it became like harassment. Yeah. So I'm like, what?
Is that is that a civil suit, or they got criminal charges too?
No, it's a civil suit. She like, really, hey, they going after the money. What the song say? Money made me do it. Sitting in jail for, hugging and whispering in somebody's ear ain't what she after. They said she wants some money. They money on.
So what did he actually do? I mean, I'm hearing it, but I don't know the case, so I don't know.
Hold on, let me see if I can find a summary. Let me see, lawsuit explained. Let me see if somebody. I mean, I need a video summary. I can't do a read summary. Okay, I think somebody probably did a summary breaking down the lawsuits. Okay, I think I found a good little summary that can break it down for you. Hold on, let me do this one. Hopefully they don't be tripping because I'm showing a vid. Wait, where did it go? Hold on. I don't even know where it went to that fast.
Trial for the welcome back, everybody. A New York judge set March 2026 trial for the It Ends With Us lawsuit between film star Blake Lively and director Justin Baldoni. Lively accuses Baldoni of sexual harassment on the set of their film and a smear campaign against her. Mr. Baldoni denies those allegations, claiming the actress is attempting to damage his reputation. So let's bring in CBS News legal contributor Caroline Polisi. Always great to get your opinions and your perspectives here. It seems that there is a new report on social media every time I log on about this case. There's a lot of noise out there, but what is it all about from a legal perspective?
Yeah, so much noise. I think we all know way too much. We've read a lot of text messages.
It doesn't
at
end
this
with
point.
us.
Exactly. Yeah, so what's happening here, there are a lot of lawsuits being sort of flung around, but the one I'm going to focus on is this one that has been consolidated now in New York federal court. The initial suit filed by Blake Lively was against Baldoni, Wayfarer Productions, as well as a few other people, alleging sexual harassment on the set of the film It Ends With Us. Now, Baldoni also filed then a suit alleging defamation and civil extortion. Now, the civil extortion part essentially is alleging that Lively sort of hijacked the film's production. She was hired as an actress. Baldoni had the rights to the script. He was the head producer, and that she basically threatened to pull out of the film multiple times, and that this was a type of extortion if Baldoni didn't sort of take her rewrites and sort of allow her access to the actual editing process. Now, the latest issue here is that Lively and her team is claiming that Baldoni and his very outspoken lawyer, Brian Friedman, they want to gag him, essentially. They want the judge to issue a gag order saying that he can't release these receipts. As you know, we've seen, most recently today, I saw they released to TMZ a voicemail message that Baldoni. Yeah, pretty interesting. That he sent to Blake Lively, around 2 a.m. in the morning one night, essentially apologizing after she was upset that he didn't take necessarily all of her rewrite of the rooftop scene. I don't know if you've seen the movie, but so basically the court has moved up a date to go over this issue. Now, Baldoni and Friedman and Wayfarer say essentially, look, Lively leaked that complaint that she had initially filed in California about sexual harassment. She leaked that to the New York Times. They're also suing the New York Times, by the way, for defamation. And so, this claim that he is somehow violating the New York Code of Professional Responsibility, well, there's a caveat to that rule saying, that you can't make these extrajudicial statements unless you're defending yourself. And so he's claiming they're just defending Justin Baldoni. They're showing real text messages, receipts, footage, live footage.
Okay, so it's giving us the breakdown of what the gist is, I guess, so to speak, of what the lawsuit's about. So apparently he's a script writer and an actor, and he had control over what goes in a movie, what comes out. And she kept on threatening to pull herself away from the movie if she didn't get her way in the script. I don't want the character. I don't want that character to die. That character got to stay. I don't want my character to do this. My character needs to do that. And if you don't do it, I'm going to pull out the movie completely. And that's probably kind of hard to do once you've been shooting and spend a lot of money to replace one of the main, actors. But then it got to the point, I guess he was giving her way, and now she just went overboard. I don't know. I gotta look into it. Director of the movie. Okay, I gotta look into it and see. This is craziness. Law Malcolm. Okay, why you block me? I didn't block you. I don't know why it does that with your comments. I have to make sure to select the messages thing. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta look into it. What y'all think? It's something that y'all think gonna be good, or it's gonna be a waste of time? 79% of y'all saying not guilty for A$AP Rocky. 13% saying hung jury. 8% saying guilty as charged. 8% saying guilty. And I'm sure 8% is part of Law Malcolm. Because he guilty, or everybody guilty of Law Malcolm. But he ran off. Yeah, you gotta keep in touch though, for sure. So we can get what's really going on. I'm sure I was there, so that's gonna be interesting. Hopefully we can get you to come back and but I get it though. I don't know, one of the people in the chat said they were there, and I'm assuming it's this situation, but they probably trying to tread lightly, perhaps. You want to be called as no witness. You know what I'm saying? You want to be subpoenaed. But in any event,
well, stop getting on social media talking. You don't want to be caught. Keep your mouth closed.
Right. We'll see how it go. But I definitely appreciate y'all coming in. We'll be back on Thursday, I guess, bright and early. What time did the judge say?
9:30.
9:30. Okay.
11:30 your time. No. Yeah.
11:30 my time.
Yep.
Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna make that work. I'm gonna make that work.
Oh yeah.
Because I got court in 2 separate counties, but I'm getting there early, and so I can get back because I want to watch these closing arguments. I mean, that's what we've been waiting for. Is just a summation, a summary of all of the prosecutor's evidence, all of the defense evidence. Some judges place time limits on closing arguments.
They probably gonna have to put one on Lewin.
Lewin for sure. I have had judges take all the time you need. He say you can look at the jury. They'll tell you when they're getting tired of you. And she was right. She's like, I don't have to put a time limit on. You can just, you can see the look on their faces. Then I have some that say, we're gonna do 30 minutes. Some say an hour. But the thing is, with evidence and closing arguments, it don't really take all of that time. You presented your evidence. You can just touch base so the jury don't forget about it. Hey, remember this, go back and watch this video. If you don't believe me, go back and see this, go back and see that, and you're done. But it shouldn't take you hours like Lewin to close your case.
Because you know he's gonna drag it out.
He's gonna drag it.
But if I'm the defense, one of the main points I'm gonna do is play that recording back with Relly and Wally, where he said he pulled the gun out for self-defense. Because they only get one chance to do their closing. The prosecution get 2. So your one chance, you got to really light it up.
Right.
And that's something they can consider it because it's actual evidence. I would play that. I would, if they can, if the judge give them that time, I would go back and replay some of his testimony, what he said.
And normally that's allowed. I've done that in closing arguments. Go back to the video. Now you may have to use, they're still gonna count as part of your time, but I see nothing wrong with showing an exhibit or playing a video that's already in evidence.
Right.
And if it's a good part, press play, show it, stop the tape. Matter of fact, they even have other people working with them, so they don't even have to do it themselves. They can start the tape, turn it off, and then you just jump right back into your closing without missing the beat. And then go to the next video if you have one, and in your notes you can just have the breaks for the video. Some prosecutors and defense attorneys don't use notes. It just depends on how big the case is. This case is so big, I think that to be safe, to make sure you don't forget anything, there's nothing wrong with having notes or bullet points
right,
to help you remember all of your arguments. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. My opinion, not guilty, and I'm not saying it because I don't even listen to ASAP Rocky music. I mean, I've heard some songs, but I don't even get into that. I'm looking strictly on the evidence, what my eyes see.
Right.
I don't see nothing.
Right.
That would constitute a conviction on those charges beyond a reasonable doubt, because prosecution state got a lot of hurdles that they got to overcome.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of that they.
Stephanie said,
and it's,
Stephanie mad at somebody. She said, hit the effing like button.
no, that's just how she joke around. That's how she do. Shout out to Stephanie. I think that the prosecutors did themselves no favor by agreeing to that last stipulation.
No.
I mean, they could have just left it alone. Let them call whoever they're going to call in, but by you agreeing, it looks really bad.
It looked like they was conceding.
I will make sure they know really place them casings. Yeah, don't even. Yeah, it's almost as if they're conceding that could be a possibility that the cases were planted.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you even go down that road?
I mean, because the whole case relies on that gun, those shell casings, and Relly's testimony. That's what the state's whole case rely on. And y'all just gave that away.
Not ex partes. Hey, I want to see. Oh wow, Taco Bell. Yeah, I want you to bring your A game, Taco, on Thursday. Have me coming back from court. I need you to be ready, suited and booted. Don't hold no punches, because the Lewin ain't gonna hold none on you.
Yeah, but Taco, he get to talking. He is scared of them people. That whole jury white, they say.
All right, shake them up.
But I'll say something about that though. With that jury, they might. I mean, listen. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it. They're gonna see it from Rocky's point of view, especially after watching that video and looking at Relly on the stand. Not his size and all that, the way he conducted himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can see that he can be considered a hothead.
He's a hothead, live wire.
Yeah, you got a temper. The prosecutor got one. The defense attorney, he's got upset a few times. Taco.
Yeah.
And Tacopina, I hope you don't be offended by us calling that. I mean, the internet just came to know him, through social media as Taco. And he did a good job so far. I mean, according to the jury poll that we have here, 80% not guilty.
Oh yeah. But here's the thing.
80%.
How much did he really actually have to do, considering what the prosecution, what the state presented?
Well, it just depends on how you look at it. Because when it first happened, everybody was like, Rocky, he should have took the plea deal, take the plea deal. And then the first day when we heard about the fake gun, we're like, hold on now, fake gun. And then, people are like, there's no way it could have been a fake gun. But then as we listen more and more, we're like, hold on. The defense might be on to something. They may have a case here because the burden is on the prosecution. So, the defense, their case looking stronger every day. And here we are at day, 11, 12, and the majority of the people saying not guilty. And then you have some people online, yeah, y'all saying he's not guilty. Y'all saying he's not guilty, but y'all the same people who said Tory Lanez wouldn't be found guilty. I'm like, well, hold on. First of all, Tory Lanez trial wasn't televised, as far as I know. I didn't see it. So I don't really know what evidence they had against that man. We just heard a lot of hearsay and stuff that was coming back out. People were saying, but we really didn't know the evidence like we see this trial. So I don't know if we can really compare the two, because we were relying on other people, and I'm saying we as the public. I didn't really have an opinion on his guilt or innocence during that trial. But as far as this trial, we actually saw, for the most part, everything. So that's why we're able to call balls and strikes in this trial versus the Tory Lanez trial.
I know I was on some channels and I seen some people that was just adamant. I heard that. Now I don't know if it's just me, but I heard people saying that Lewin was killing it. Lewin didn't kill nothing in this.
What?
Saying how good of a job he was doing. Oh, he's killing it. I'm quite sure there's some people in the chat that was on those channels that seen it.
Yeah, probably the 9% that's saying guilty. So hey, it's possible.
No, it's possible, but come on, I don't. That jury's not coming back with no guilty verdict. Worst come to worst, it's gonna be a hung jury. And that being said, it's just like an acquittal for him because they're not gonna retry that case again.
Right. I don't think so neither. Ain't no way. They'll run Lewin out of there. And somebody had on social media that supposedly there's some type of dissension inside the prosecutor's office, like they're on bad terms.
Yeah, that's where that lawsuit coming in with Lewin and the head prosecutor. That's what I was telling you a little earlier. A couple of the other prosecutors who was in there, DDAs, they was promoted under the old prosecutor, DA. And then when this one came in, they got demoted and they're saying for no reason. And then Lewin got promoted. And he did that. That's when all the dirt stuff and all that came out. So that's why they suing him.
The thing is, I don't know if I kind of necessarily agree with that. The plaintiffs, the people that filed the lawsuit, because normally when a new administration takes over, they are allowed to bring in their own people and put the people in the best position they think they'll fit in. So just because you got a promotion under the old prosecutor, that doesn't mean that the new prosecutor, I should have to come in and keep you in these high-ranking positions when you didn't do nothing when you were there for the old prosecutor. So why can't I bring in my own people in those spots? So I don't know if that, if that's the basis of the lawsuit, but.
Well, let me say this. And I don't know, I'm not out there, so I don't know. It's hearsay to me, but they were saying that the old prosecutor that lost the election to the new one, I guess it was a rift with them when they was running or whatever. And then when the new guy won, I guess what they trying to accuse him of, from what it sounded like to me, is he kicked them to the curb to get back at the old prosecutor.
Okay, well that's different. But if the old prosecutor know he's going out the door, and before he leaves office, he appoint all these people into high positions, forcing the new prosecutor to work with them, and the whole time they still may have allegiance to the one who lost. So they may be sabotaging them, stabbing them in the back. So I don't think that should be allowed. I think a new person that comes in should be able to bring their own team, but you can't fire nobody based on retaliation. Or even if you demote them, at least they should be allowed to keep their pay. Because if they've been there 20 years and just because somebody new come in, you don't knock their pay down. That could be kind of crazy.
Right. And the plaintiffs, the ones that's filed in the lawsuit, one is a woman and the other one is a man.
They said Lewin looks like he should be investigated for participating in freak-offs. Teo, not a freak-off. He said what they said, he just had a sleepover. That's what they said, a sleepover.
Right.
And he said he had his daughter with him. And they stayed about, he said he can remember 2.5 days. Even though, so either he lied under oath or Robert's wife lied under oath, because she said that daughter when there was just him and her.
Yeah.
His
But
grown
they
daughter
did,
was not there.
they did say his daughter was supposed to be there.
Yeah. And that's for optics. She's supposed to be there to make it look good.
Yeah, something was going on.
Yeah.
But either
Something
way,
in the water.
it's not a good look for him.
Right. It's not prosecuting that man like that. Prosecuting someone while you possibly facing charges is diabolical. Diabolical. Y'all heard what she said.
And they say, I seen this on somebody's channel that, like I said, I don't know. I'm not out there. But they say Lewin not liked in the DA's office out there by a lot of his co-workers.
I wouldn't be surprised. And matter of fact, I believe Tacopina said that one day during the trial that he's heard from people, even inside the DA's office, about the behavior of Lewin and to essentially watch him.
Right.
Y'all funny.
They said they got into it in the hallway at court, and they was going back and forth. Say Lewin told him something about he been eating all them steroids.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. And they say, and while he eating the steroids, they say Lewin put his daughter in the hotel. That's what the chat said. Don't give me the line. I wasn't there.
No, listen.
Threw his daughter all the way.
They was going back and forth. It was some low blows. Lewin said something about the steroids, and then what you call it came back. Taco came back and said something crazy. I think he did say something about his daughter. I don't remember exactly, but that's probably true. And that's what that New York trip was about. But I don't know exactly what he said, but he sure said something about his and referred to his daughter. Not that he was saying nothing demeaning about his daughter, but he had mentioned her. And
7 say, how did they find out about Lewin? They not gonna tell you they tricks just in case they gotta catch the next Lewin that act up out of line.
Right.
Take 2 say, wait, when was this? Oh, so she ain't here. Y'all want me to play the video one more time before we get out of here? Y'all let me know if y'all want to play the video one more time that Monica B sent over.
yeah, play it again. So the people that didn't see it can see it real quick.
I didn't see it in just a few minutes. I'll show y'all. And this is the prosecutor that's prosecuting Rocky right now, the lead prosecutor. And apparently he got some he got some stuff going on that didn't got out. Let me see if I can find it. Let me go back. Hold on right quick. This is wild. I'll play it again for y'all. We can get out of here. T, if you can get a clip of that and email it, that'll be good. But I'm gonna play this real quick of the lead prosecutor for the ones who didn't see it earlier. The lead prosecutor and what he got going on in New York, even though he's a prosecutor in LA. I don't know what. Let me see if I can go over here. Let's see if we can share this. Let's see if we can play it.
Well, News 12 has learned of yet another sensational twist in the ongoing saga involving the late serial killer Robert Durst. The Turn to Terror team uncovering evidence that the star prosecutor who convicted the New York real estate heir took a free vacation at a Long Island mansion owned by Durst's wife just months after the trial, a trip that is now coming under the microscope. Our senior reporter Tara Rosenblum has the exclusive details.
Back in 2021, Los Angeles Deputy District Attorney John Lewin did what no other prosecutor in New York or Texas could.
Guilty of a crime.
Convince a jury to unanimously find the scandalized New York real estate scion Robert Durst guilty of murder. The high-profile conviction instantly turned Lewin into a household name.
I was the lead prosecutor on the case.
There were TV show cameos, podcasts, and even luxury stays in the Hamptons. The Turn to Terror team has learned that just a few months after Durst was found guilty and subsequently died in prison, Lewin had a sleepover at this beachfront mansion estimated at $17 million, owned by none other than Robert Durst's widow, Deborah Sheridan.
Has John Lewin ever been to your house in Bridgehampton?
Yes.
In this videotaped deposition obtained exclusively by News 12, Sheridan was questioned last fall about the nature of Lewin's stay at her pricey Long Island estate.
Did he sleep over?
He did.
Was anyone else there?
No.
Were you there?
Yes.
A few months later, under oath for a wrongful death suit brought by Durst's first wife, Lewin is also asked to explain the overnight encounter.
Did I spend the night at... So my daughter and I, on a vacation to New York City, made arrangements. Bob Durst was long dead.
Only Durst wasn't long dead. He died in January 2022, just a few months before Lewin vacationed at his widow's mansion.
My daughter and I had a lovely, I think we spent not one night, if I recall, I think it was two nights there. I can't remember for sure. It's nothing that is in any way unethical.
But not everyone agrees.
In my mind, this does not pass the smell test. It just strikes me as so foolish.
Peace law professor and former Manhattan prosecutor Bennett Gershman said Lewin's Hamptons excursion has the potential to not only complicate the legal battle over Durst's estate, but also Lewin's own standing at the DA's office.
You know, prosecutors shouldn't be in a situation where their judgment, their conduct may be called into question. He made a terrible mistake in terms of judgment, and are there going to be any consequences?
We reached out to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office to find out, and all they would tell us was they were aware of the allegation, but couldn't comment further on personnel matters or pending investigations. Tara Rosenblum, News 12.
Y'all remember when Lewin's phone rung in court? Now we know who was calling. Now we know who was calling. The reporters are on his. You know what? The reporters are on him. Now, sir, why did you go away to New York over there and playing that man white face like that? And my thing is, who got more motive to lie? The prosecutor tried to say his daughter was there, but the wife herself, she said no, it was just me and him. Now, what does that benefit her by telling that? She said it was just me and him. It wasn't no daughter there. It wasn't no daughter, nothing. Not calling him in court.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Listen. Now listen. Now this is the prosecutor that's prosecuting Rocky. Right. We want to see the text messages. We want to put y'all on the stand like Fonnie Willie got on the stand in Georgia and talked about her Grey Goose. We need you on the stand, Lewin, so we can see what y'all was sipping on and what y'all was texting about at y'all 2-day freak off, aka sleepover.
What they was doing.
Come on. I don't think they were doing that much, huh?
Yeah,
whatever it is. Come on, huh?
Whatever it is, he put his daughter in a hotel with a nanny, allegedly.
Not with a nanny. Wait, how old is the daughter?
Present jury and also present. Good afternoon. Let me make
Okay, love affair murder trial. Man, we just getting all of the stuff today. What is going on? I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, well, I should think, what is that case?
I don't know. Love affair murder trial. They say day 11. So yeah, 11 days behind, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, you have a lot of catching up to do with that.
To do that, yeah, to even get close to that. But yeah. Let me see. I email you the video. I don't know how to send just that clip. Hold on, let me see. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I looked at it. It's about 30 minutes long. But I didn't see a clip of them fighting or them arguing in the back. I just seen the video. I just kind of skimmed through it. It was 30 minutes. You know the timestamp?
Who, me?
No, I was talking to Tia in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what trial this is, but y'all. And calling a witness to the stand. But yeah, y'all, we're gonna have to reconvene, I guess, on Thursday. I wanted to wait a few seconds to see if Tia was gonna respond. Tia, did you have a timestamp or anything in particular? Oh, okay. She don't have a time. Oh, okay. So it was nothing. Okay, I got you. All right. Well, y'all, I guess we're gonna reconvene back here again on
Thursday morning.
Thursday morning and
12:30 or 11:30 your time. 12:30 Eastern.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure I get everything done that needs to be done out the way.
Right.
But yeah, Rocky said it himself for the people that may watch this video later that he would not be testifying. He said
smart move.
Yeah, he understood. Let me see if we can go back to it. He understood the rules. I'll just show it one more time. He understood everything and he said he's not testifying. Let me see.
There's his right to testify? Yes, sir. Have you also discussed his right not to testify?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Mayor, do you hear what Mr. Tacopina just said?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you agree with what he has said?
Absolutely.
You understand that you have a right to get on the stand and give your side of the case. You understand and accept that?
I do understand and I understand.
Also, you have a right under the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution not to testify. You cannot be compelled to testify. It's totally your decision to either get on the stand or waive your right to testify and not testify. You understand that?
I understand.
Okay, which right do you wish to take advantage of? The one to testify or the one to not testify?
I'm on my right to not testify.
Right. All right, so do you in fact waive your right to testify in this case?
I do in fact, Your Honor.
Counsel.
See, the judge asking two different ways to make sure there ain't no confusion. He said, I understand and I waive my right to testify. Thank you, Tia. I'll take a look at it and go through the video. Thank you. Hey, I'm from LA now. Oh, I'm from LA now. Okay. He said, hey, watch how you handle LA. YSL Town said, I'm from LA. Wait, she got a house off of theirs. If she did, she lucky. Dude was off in there. Yeah, I didn't know he was a serial. They said serial killer. I got to go in and.
Yeah, I heard the name before, but I didn't know nothing about him. But Yeah. And he was I don't know, I guess before he got locked up, he was but that man looked too weak in that courtroom to kill a mosquito.
Not a mosquito. Yeah. Yeah, he was. I guess it finally caught up with him. His ways. See, it'll catch up with you sooner or later.
Yeah.
And it finally caught up with him. So he ain't got nobody to blame but himself if he did what they accusing him of doing.
Yeah, you talking about Lewin.
No, I'm talking about
Durst.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You know, I mean, it ain't, and you know, I done seen some places where, you know, even seen where people talking about you just want to see people. Listen, I'm not starstruck. That's number one. You know, but a lot of people think because people are celebrities and stars that's why people, when they get in trouble, they be like, oh, not guilty. But when in all actuality, usually when you see a celebrity first get charged before the trial even come, they're being crucified.
Right.
And saying they're guilty. You know, so that's only, you know, but then, you know, once you get to watch this stuff, and it's a good thing they televise these trials, especially these high profile cases, and you look at the evidence, now you can make an opinion because we're no different than jurors. Everybody that sits in these chats on these channels and make an opinion watching this, same thing the jury do. The only difference is the jury is right there in the courtroom. And then we know a lot of stuff that the jurors don't know because they can't hear certain stuff. So we get a better idea of what's going on than the jury do.
That's right. Yeah. He said the dude was crazy. Thanks, TTL. Okay, best chat. Oh yeah. Thank God, yeah, for sure.
Y'all welcome.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess until next time, I plan on being here Thursday. I'm gonna make it work. So we can see
All
what
right.
the closing arguments. If you're around, hit the link if you can.
Oh yeah,
I think it'll be a good one.
yeah. So I gotta make a quick run, but I'm gonna go see who else got something going on, which it wasn't nothing to see today, no way.
Right, yeah, that wasn't none of that.
You know, it really wasn't nothing to see, but I'm quite sure I see some of the chat other places too. But yeah, we'll get together Thursday morning, God willing.
Oh yeah. And God willing, the creek don't rise. We'll be back.
Right.
Okay, all right then. I'll be looking out for you on Thursday. Thank you for coming up. You and Lady VJ. I know she was in and out today.
Oh yeah, she's still in Walgreens. She ain't hit back.
Walgreens, come on.
That's what she said. She was at. She said she's at
Right.
Walgreens.
She did something. Don't mind me. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll see you on Thursday.
All right, man.
All right,
You have a good one, man.
all right, you too. All right.
All right. Peace.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming in. Y'all funny. Don't have me burning none up, Law Malcolm. Talking about we should have a cooking show together. Don't do that now. Have a good evening. Yeah, thank y'all so much for I see all of my members in here. Thank y'all for always supporting the stream. I see y'all. Monica B, thank you for sending me that video. That was some good stuff. We didn't know all that was going on. That man had put his daughter in a motel room, allegedly to go over there and creep. with the woman next door. Got in a plane and flew across the country to New York. And he tried his best to explain why he was going to New York. Boy, you was going for that woman. Stop it. Stop it. Talking about my daughter playing the trip, and he was just tagging along. Like you just happened to go to the widow of the man you just prosecuted house without knowing it. Oh man, I want to see the look on his face if this case don't go his way. I want to see what his excuse is going to be to the media. He may blame the lawyer. He may blame Joe Tacopina. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming in and supporting the stream. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. To the new people that subscribe, thank y'all. I see y'all. Definitely appreciate it. But before I go, let me give my legal disclaimer. No legal advice intended. I'm a lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer. I'm just here to talk their law. If y'all can come back on Thursday and we can continue with the closing arguments. Thank you. Let's go.